Happy Monday, baby.
Best day of the week. Monday's best day of the week.
Best day.
I got to leave the board for a second to go back and kick his ass.
Uh-oh. You said ass. We're only a few minutes, seconds into it. Good
Somebody
God.
lock the door.
Best day of the week.
What does that even mean?
Oh, man, I just try to psych myself up for it. It's positive mental attitude. PMA.
Positive. Guys, I got a positive mental attitude. I think the more you have the positive mental attitude, know that you've come back from vacation, and the Thursday of the vacation that you're on is the first time that you're able to relax and go enjoy this. By Friday, you're like, sons of biscuit eaters, I got to get back to work. And by Sunday, you're dreading the nighttime.
I want to wake up when I don't feel good and go straight to work.
That's it.
And that's
After 5
every
hours
Monday
sleep.
morning.
Monday. Oh, good God.
You know, I'm all about being positive, but the best day of the week, I take issue with that.
What you're saying is you don't like Mondays. Tell me why.
According to Cnbc, Monday is just like Tennessee.
I like it. If I was looking at the metrics.
Yeah.
And it's funny because if you look at CNBC's other metrics for business, they're like, we're 9th in the country for business. We're 8th in the country for like affordability, but we're the worst place to live because
We say mean things.
we say mean things.
And the Republicans won't ever do anything for the Democrats.
We say mean things. We don't let boys with weeders in the girls' bathrooms. That's the number one metrics of whether or not you can live in a good state.
The guy on Channel 4 that was, I think it was on their digital site. He was doing a report about that. And that was one of the things he brought up, that we have these anti-LGBTQ laws. And it's just like, this shows me that the entire survey was leftism at best.
Yeah, it is. Okay, crime rates.
Yeah,
Take out Memphis and tell me how good it is.
By the way, what did they say? Our crime rates here in Nashville are coming down. It's blue, but they're coming down. Okay, so that's good. Air quality, though, by the way, good with air quality.
We're good with air quality.
Hey, you know what? They don't lack the transit people inside the bathrooms, but they're great with the air quality.
Well, they just banned flour.
That's right.
Can't smoke pot anymore.
Hemp flour.
Now, I will say overdose. I was surprised about how many overdoses we have. That was a shocking thing to me.
From pot?
No, from wood chippers.
Oh.
Too many people doing wood chippers. I smoked so many wood chippers this weekend.
Isn't a wood chipper sort of a one-time thing?
Oh, man, not if you do it right, brother.
Not
Worker
if you go in
protections.
toes first.
What came first, the wood chipper or the weed? Great name for a band, Weed and Wood Chippers.
So, like, opioids are killing a lot of us.
Yes,
huh?
opioids, big time.
Imagine that.
Let's see here, but that's okay. But then you go and they didn't talk about state income tax. They didn't talk about job growth, low cost of living, home affordability, business climate, outdoor recreation. They talked about stuff. It's like when they do those other ones and like, one of the reasons this place is great is because it's got, Broadway. You're like, what? Well, so do we. See, they can't do that when it comes to us with entertainment because we have an amazing performing arts center. We have an incredible opportunity for any kind of music or concerts, or we have all of the things, and recreationally, you can get outside and enjoy your life.
Yeah, but Broadway is not even something any local does.
No, but I'm just saying it's like you could drive. We've got all of the performing arts center within the space of a few blocks.
Oh, well, that's
but I'm
actually
talking
true.
about Broadway as in New York. That kind of Broadway.
Oh.
That's one of those things where you don't have great museums. We got good museums. We got some damn good museums.
Yeah, we actually do.
Yeah. Hey,
Well,
you know what you guys don't have? A data center in the middle of a freaking zoo.
That's true.
Nobody's got that, kids. So it's so weird the way that they go and they play this thing where it's like, okay, so based on these weird things that you put out there, and look, crime rates, that's something we should talk about. We've talked about that. Worker protections, but the overdosing, okay, those are a few things. Name a place that doesn't have some issues. But what do we have?
Well, you can't. I mean, everybody's got some problem.
And let's be real. All the stress in the world leaves when you can afford to live.
That's right.
Right? Everything else is just more a kind of a nuisance and an annoyance. if you can afford, life doesn't buy you, money doesn't buy you happiness. No, what it does is buys you peace of mind. Peace of mind allows you to get the happiness a little bit better.
Yeah, comfort.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable, it's a lot easier to be happy.
Yeah. And the other thing you don't have is you don't have a WNBA team, which is the number one cause of happiness.
No, that probably actually contributed to it's being a better place.
Tell you what, though, if I was the guys who were running, John Rose, not a farmer apparently, according to his neighbor, he's like, I grew up next door to John. He goes, we live in a very affluent area. My dad's a doctor, and this is like people who are pushing Marsha. He's never farmed. They have a farm, but he's never farmed. And I'm like, But one of the things that a lot of people said is when I looked at like the Cnbc is blame Marsha for the opioid crisis in Tennessee. She takes tons of money from pharmacies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that's, if I'm not incorrect, I think that is number 2 on her donor list.
Yeah.
Is pharmaceuticals.
Uh-huh. So.
But, she might have been on Fed time. I don't know.
She might have been on Fed time. Might have been on Fed time. It's just the whole thing that was such a weird thing. And then you go and look at all the other states that are on there. Utah. I'm like, what is wrong with Utah? Like Utah. I mean, look, Utah, we've talked about Utah and the Utah 6, and it's dominated by Utah is beautiful. And you want to talk about air quality and getting outside and doing stuff. This, Ken, man. Utah, Idaho, just insane.
Yes, sir.
And that's all on there? LA's not on there? California's got gorgeous places, but the big cities, much like us, they've got their issues, and their issues are tenfold. You go to San Francisco, nobody goes to downtown here and goes, oh, God, I can't go down. I mean, yes, you got people that throw up and vomit. They're partying too hard. That's not the case in San Francisco. Seattle, it's not the case. I have friends in the last year or two that have gone to Seattle and said, I will never go there again.
Really?
Based on my friend, Becky Lynn. She's from here. She's from Tennessee, but she's my good friend. She was our news lady out in Arizona. Her and her husband went to San Francisco. Seattle. She says, I'll never go there again. She goes, the smell of urine, the amount of homeless people, not just, you come down in the morning from her hotel because they were going to take a cruise, and she goes, there's just homeless people sleeping all over people's cars.
Like outside on the hood or something?
Yeah, like on the hood or sleeping right next to it. Like, I mean, and I said, yeah.
Either that or protesting.
Yeah, they're too tired. So, it's funny.
How do things get that bad?
Because you have what do they call it? Empathetic suicide. You everything is based in empathy, and you decide that somebody who's doing whatever it is they're doing, it's just because the world's treated them bad, and now they've made lifestyle choices, and because of that you have to just let them do their thing, and they make them a victim. And so by victimizing them, rather than saying they're a mess, they need to get fixed, you allow it to continue to spread. And that's why, I think it was 5-6 years ago, they did that Seattle documentary. I don't know if you guys saw it, called Seattle's Dying or something. I forgot. It was something like that. And it was done where they went to all of these areas in downtown Seattle where it was drugs and it was prostitution and it was the homeless crisis was out of control. And it got a lot of traction on everything from CNN to 60 Minutes and all of this stuff, where they finally said, okay, we got to do something about it. But they don't do anything about it. Well,
I think the one thing they do that just exacerbates the problem is magnetizing the state.
Yes.
And pulling, somebody that's in Oklahoma and is homeless hears that if they can get to California, there's all this benefit that's going to be brought to them because they're homeless.
Yeah, there's not much in Oklahoma.
No. Like, you know what? If you see the one dude in Oklahoma that's homeless, everybody knows him. He's like, what was that guy's Floyd or whatever? Who's the guy that was always drunk on Mayberry?
Oh, that's
Otis. He's like Otis, right? Like, that's like where it gets cold. You're like, we better invite him in for the night kind of thing. Somebody's 5993 just said, oh my God, I have 4 friends who recently took a trip to Seattle and they literally said the same identical thing. Yeah, it was It was when I was up there, I went up there also to take a cruise. It wasn't bad. It was still beautiful, but there were some areas. Now it is spreading out everywhere. And the same thing in Portland.
And is San Francisco still dealing with
San
that?
Francisco's gotten better because once they got rid of the mayor and then they recalled Chesa Bodine, who was their AD, things have gotten somewhat better because the guy who came in as mayor and the new AD is like, look, we're not going to allow the city to become this. We're not. We have to fix it. It's okay to go, to be empathetic and care, but you shouldn't be able to ruin somebody else's property and life because you have a drug problem. I mean, look, there's places, we all know this downtown. Like, I went and got a nice snack in between games the other night.
Yeah.
And I told you this, Ken, by the way, McDonald's, I'm not proud to say that I go and eat, eat there based on what you guys did to me on Saturday. Because you changed the World Cup meal. And I asked, well, what's the new World Cup meal? And the guy said, I don't want to explain it to you. And I thought, what? So, but I'm down there. First of all, there's a couple, as I'm turning left, and I'm coming down, I'm like, these people are going to have sex right here.
Oh, man.
He is not in a wheelchair. She is.
Goodness.
And then there's the guy wandering the streets, and he's got one shoe off, one shoe on. And my first thought is, oh, he must have missed a paycheck. That's why he can't afford a place to live. No, we can't have that. We got to fix these problems. And you know how you fix them? You face them head on. You're honest with yourself. It's drugs. It's mental illness. One came before the other. Which one? Don't know. But you got to fix it. And when you allow it to go to the point where, see, Portland, everybody talks about Portland's one of those weird things where that was a big runaway place. A lot of kids would run away to Portland. And they would stay in Portland. They've run away from all over. But then it grew from runaway to a drug den. Seattle became the same way. San Francisco, obviously, is the same. San Francisco has more drug issues. Southern California has a lot of homeless, and they have areas, but San Francisco's drug issues were tremendous. But either way, it's a hot mess. And if you're not going to, face it, you're going to get what you get. And we don't have that yet. But last week I was reading there's a baby in a homeless encampment here.
Yeah, I saw that.
I thought, what the hell is going on?
It's on one of those days when the heat index was over 100.
Yeah. So it is. It is. I mean, it's just we've got to, you got to do better because we want to move up that CNBC rank, especially when it comes to our meanness. Just such a joke. None of it deals with the real issues with what people love going to Texas, why they build there. It's affordable, Again, every place has its great and every place has its but this whole thought process that we're not very good because of, and then they go break it down. And like you said, it's the left, it's the dumbest left thing that you can have. And I'm not saying, look, the LGBT stuff, we could talk about that. We got to treat everybody fair. We got to be kind to everybody. That's not it. It's just the way that they approach these things when they come up with these rankings is so ridiculous.
And it's amazing that we have so many people moving here, but the state's just horrible.
Yeah. Sally says, I shouldn't compare Otis to the homeless. Otis had a job?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was his job? Mayor.
I can't remember what Otis's job was.
I don't think they ever specified, but I do remember them talking about him getting to work one time.
He was functioning, is what you guys are saying.
Yeah, he was a functioning alcoholic. He was Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah. Okay. Functioning alcoholic. So much stuff to get today. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. We are currently finding ourselves in the kerfuffle again. And now Trump's got a great way to fix this whole thing about them charging a toll. We've decided we're going to charge a toll. What?
So they have to pay the Iranian and ours?
Yeah. So that's going to help oil and gas.
Okay.
That's going to be good. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, Lindsey Graham passed away this weekend, and I'm sure what I'm going to say will probably piss some of you guys off, and I'm okay with that. And did you see who Trump, Ken?
Yeah, he wants his sister to fill the slot.
He wants his sister.
Does she have any political experience at all?
I
mean, not that I don't think that should be disqualify her, but
Well,
I'm just
yeah, but
curious.
it's like if she hasn't worked in 25 years and she's raised her 2 kids, there's no why. What? So you're gonna just say maybe she's the one? Is she a lawyer? Is she
no clue.
is she competent? I mean, how does she feel about Israel? We need to know. So, but that's such a bizarre that to me. I'm sorry, that shouldn't happen. Your wife, your husband, your sister, your brother. You're making it a family affair. I think it's going to be the governor actually, because he really wants that. Really wants it. Because he's asked out there. His term ends, so he can step down. Lieutenant governor, but she wants it too because she wanted to be governor. So Nancy Mace, is it Nancy Mace wants it? Several people want it, but now Trump has come out.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for especially. What was it you told me? Strom and
was it 70 years? I think it's only been those two. And for 70 years, seat.
That kind of gives you an idea of how rare a Senate seat opens up, whether it's an incumbent losing or somebody passing away.
Yeah. So this will be interesting. But if she gets it, I'm just like, what are we doing here? Come on, for God's sakes! All right, coming up, a little bit about that. Sam Neill passed away.
Yeah,
man, that's a bummer. Talk about that. If you guys don't know who Sam Neill is, great actor, but think Jurassic Park and a bunch of other great things. He's been a ton of
Mouth
stuff.
of Madness.
Yeah, Piano.
That movie. That is a creepy movie.
That is a creepy movie. Creepy movie. Just a bunch of great stuff. Also, later on, we're going to talk a bit about the bison attack.
Yeah.
Eerily attacked the guy that looks somewhat like Ken.
That cracked me up, man, that video.
So, Kenzel, did he try to pet him? And I said, did not try to pet the guy. This was just one of those things where the bison's like, I think I need to throw somebody in the air, and it's going to be you. So we'll talk about that, among other things. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Why? Incogni, Incogni. I've been working with them for a while. They're amazing. Let me tell you about them. You know that data brokers out there have everything? They have your home address, your mother's address, your father's address, your cell phone number, your email address, your family's information, and most importantly, your doctor. The pills and medication you take, all of that stuff. They can do anything they want, and they can sell it to anybody they want, including criminals. That's why you get all those calls, texts, phishing emails. Get rid of those things. So what you don't know is data brokers, they have to give you an opt-out. Incogni makes it so that you get opted out and you stay out. So I joined. When I did, I thought, we'll see how many. Within the space of about 4 days, 407 plus data brokers had to get me off their list. You should make sure your data is kept clean. It's the number one thing. People have that information and do whatever they want, including scam you. $20 billion last year in fraud alone from emails, text message, things of that nature. Don't be one of those people. Incogni continues monitoring, removing your data, and if it shows up again, they stomp it down so it doesn't get out there. So why don't you do this? If they can't find your information, know this. It makes it a whole lot harder for them to scam you. Go to incogni.com/Benson. You're going to save 60% off when you sign up. That's incogni.com/Benson. Incogni.com/Benson.
All right, drivers, we got stuff in the way. There's a crash going eastbound on the East Loop right there at Shelby Avenue in Lebanon. They still got that road work on 109, only one lane open. That's going to be going southbound between Hickory Ridge Road and Division Street. Right now, that's just a 7-minute delay. Folks in East Tennessee are cleaning up after some severe flooding and that explosive diarrhea virus. I got an update on that. That's coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Uh-oh. What did we come up with? Cyclosporiasis? What is it?
Cyclosporiasis.
So sporiasis. Somebody said Uncle Sam's Revenge.
I don't get it.
So I call it the Raspberry Reaper. Isn't that why?
The Raspberry Reaper.
So I went shopping and yesterday, and a couple of the places that I went to get some food, some of the produce, it said it's not there because.
Oh, they're worried about cyclosporiasis.
Yeah, that. Totally.
Cyclosporiasis.
Sporiasis. Because you don't want to get it.
No.
And I went to, just to, show Bell I care. I went to Taco Bell. And they didn't, by the way, tell me that they don't care to explain anything to me. But they did tell me, oh, yeah, we're not doing tomatoes and we're not doing onions.
So they're doing that even here.
Yeah. So at least that one was.
Yeah.
So,
I got to go buy a big old tomato today on my way home.
Oh, you better watch out.
I'm gonna take it in the shower and wash it.
Like Kramer, I made this dinner in the shower.
Well, that stuff is, what are we at, 3,000 cases already nationwide, and it's growing here.
Yeah, let's see. This is what cracks me up about the Tennessee. The CDC says there's somewhere between 11 and 30 Tennesseans with it.
Whew.
So why is it between 11 and 30? Like, are they not sure? Like, did somebody just, maybe eat a bad taco or something that they think might
maybe
be
somebody reported it and didn't go in and get a test. Is there a test for it even?
I don't know.
I'm sure they're able to detect. I mean, they have to have some detection system if they know what bacteria.
Yeah, but usually if you're sick like
that.
that, you call your doctor, and your doctor probably says, look, drink a lot of liquids, maybe give them something to
take some Imodium AD.
Yeah, but outside of that, there's probably not a lot that they're going to be able to do for you.
Yeah, they say if you have this for 2 days, and it's still going after 2 days, go see your doctor.
Yeah, but they have no. I don't even know what they give.
Antibiotics.
Is that it?
Yep.
They give you just a whole roll of toilet paper. They prescribe you 50 of those and say it's going to be a long week, sir.
Butt mask.
Dysentery can still kill you.
Yes, but we don't live in the 1800s or Haiti, so we're going to be okay.
I don't know.
You know,
I'm nervous now.
You know, I mean, we're
Not
good.
me. It's Monday.
Yeah,
That's the best day of the week.
I like that positive affirmation, man. Pam.
Please text in your derision for Ken saying that.
Oh, lordy. Coming up, bison attack. This is why you don't mess with nature. We're talking. Don't mess with it, guys. But sometimes, even when you don't mess with it, it wants to mess with you. As you're seeing with the cyclosporiasis, because that's a little bit of nature-esque. On top of that, we're going to talk a bit about Iran. Lindsey Graham, bunch of other good stuff on the way. And again, Bell's got sports coming up in a little while as well. Chet Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Wow, we just picked up another crash. It's going westbound on 440 right before the West End, exit 1. Residents in Cocke County in East Tennessee starting the cleanup process after severe flooding swept through the Del Rio community, damaging homes and businesses. The Cocke County Long-Term Recovery Group has launched relief efforts, and resources are starting to pour in. A summertime parasite outbreak has infected between 11 and 30 Tennesseans, according to the CDC. Cyclosporiasis is an illness linked to contaminated fresh produce, and it can include explosive diarrhea, stomach cramps, fatigue, loss of appetite. Imagine that. Here's Wayne Cabot.
Cyclosporiasis is something you don't want. The diarrhea can last for weeks. Previous outbreaks have been linked to raspberries, basil, cilantro, snow peas, and salad mixes. Experts say instead of buying salad mixes, get ahead of lettuce and peel off the outer layer. Washing fruits and vegetables in vinegar can help. That taste can be washed away in a salad spinner with water. And don't forget to wash the cutting board and the counter. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Yeah, investigators still working to determine the source of this outbreak. President Trump today saying the U.S. will reinstate the naval blockade against Iranian ships and ports and would charge a 20% toll on all cargoes shipped through the Strait of Hormuz. He was talking to Fox and Friends.
Now we're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it. A lot of money. But we just want to be reimbursed for doing all of this, for putting our people in danger.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Beacon Capital Management, you hear what's going on. A lot of people worried about the AI bubble. Is it about to pop? Is SpaceX an issue that could make it pop? You got the geopolitical issues with what is going on in the Straits. That's why you need Beacon Capital Management to help you when it comes to your retirement, your taxes, all of your health. I mean, they can do everything. It's a one-stop shop and then some for you. Now, this is what I want you to do. I want you to call them today. Pick up the phone, 615-488-9303. Absolutely free. They're going to get you out a retirement-ready toolkit. Money Enough for Life book, a retirement planning checklist, and guide for maximizing your retirement income. It's not going to cost you anything but a phone call. They'll explain to you all the options you have out there when it comes to everything. Maybe you have issues with taxes. They can help you. Maybe you're worried about long-term care. They can help you. Don't stress about, the situation where you might think, I'm going to outlive my retirement. Let Beacon help you because they've got it down. And they're ready to help you. Call Beacon today. Just pick up that phone, 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, online at Ask Beacon Now. Start that conversation today with Beacon Capital Management. This is a paid placement. Lindsey Graham passed away this weekend. Look, You guys know I was not a fan of Lindsey Graham. And I'm not talking about him as a person. Didn't know him as a person. Didn't. I'm not here to critique his lifestyle because I didn't know about it. Well, there's always speculation, which I'm sure we'll hear more and more of. But the reality is Lindsey liked war. He was a huge, staunch supporter of using Americans' strength and Americans, young men and women, to go out there and to push, to do things.
That wasn't just under this administration either.
God, no. And here's something else, okay? So here's what Lindsey was great at. Lindsey united the Republican Party at a time when the Republican Party was having issues. You had the George Bush wing and you had the John McCain wing. And he was part of the John McCain wing, but he was able to unite the party somewhat. As much as Mitch McConnell, Chad, who apparently we have a photo of, a proof of life, maybe. I'm not quite sure. It looks a little staged. But
well, he's like fully dressed. He's in his hospital bed in his street clothes.
Fully dressed like he's getting up to go do something. like we would notice that. But he was able to unite that side, both sides of the party. He was a John McCain understudy. John McCain and him were so close, which is weird when you consider the things that Trump said about John McCain and the fact that Lindsey said some things about Trump. But he ended up being a staunch supporter of Trump. And the reason was simple. He wanted to be relevant. Lindsey cared mostly about being relevant. He liked to be in the room. He liked to be around the power. He enjoyed relevancy.
Loved a TV camera.
Loved the TV camera. There's no doubt. But he did say stuff that made you go, what the hell?
We're killing all the right people. I go back to South Carolina. I'm asking them to send their sons and daughters over to the Mideast. Why is it okay for America to drop 2 nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? To Israel, do whatever you have to do.
Yeah. Why is it okay? I mean, he was a staunch supporter of Israel and of Ukraine, by the way, big time. Who is more upset today? Is it Ukraine or is it Israel? As much as he was a huge supporter of Israel, Ukraine, he was a huge push to get everything that Ukraine needed. But he loved himself some more. And he was fine with it. I'm going to go back to South Carolina and say that they're young, your young kids essentially need to be over here fighting in the media. The hell you do? That was just a few months ago. That wasn't years ago. So he did enjoy war. There's no doubt. He was a warmonger. Because why? Because you can go look at John McCain. What is it Dave Smith has said? It doesn't matter who you vote for at the end of the day, we all get John McCain. So we all get war.
And that one always it would stop me and make me think, how does a man go from being a prisoner of war and have what was done to him, which was just horrific, and then he becomes a proponent?
Yeah. I don't know. And you know what? It's not like Lindsey. By the way, Lindsey was in the Air Force. He was a JAG officer. So
that's a lawyer, right?
Yeah, it's a lawyer. He wasn't like he was unfamiliar with the military. He was in it for quite a while. But there was a lot about him that when you look, you start to realize this dude was anything he needed to be anywhere. Right? So he was, relevancy mattered. I want to be in the room. I could say all these horrible things about Trump, which he did. And then all of a sudden I'm in the room with him. And I get to be his pal. And Trump knew that he could go out and talk to the Democrats the way that some others weren't going to. He knew that he could get some Republicans on his side, as he knew that maybe Trump couldn't. He wanted to be relevant. He wanted to be important, and he wanted to be around the stuff. But he did like himself some more. So, was I a big fan of that? No, I wasn't. Nobody should be a big fan of that. Nobody should. Absolutely. And when you're saying, oh, I'm going to go and talk to, tell the people of South Carolina that their kids need to be over here, the hell they do. No offense, Israel, fight your own damn war. No more money. He voted the way that many of them, as I'm sure you, Chris, and everybody said the Uniparty, right? That group of people that all seem to get on the same page when it comes to things like massive spending on defense for foreign adventures and kerfuffles, which is what we're currently in the middle of. And that's, it's, again, the relevancy to him was the most important thing. He liked to get in and around a microphone. That was his jam. We're at kerfuffling. We call it kerfuffle? Or is it escalated to from kerfuffling?
No, it's still a kerfuffle.
Yeah, it is.
Congress has to declare war, then it's a war. Right now, it's a kerfuffle.
Right now, it's still a kerfuffle. Trump out there talking about it. You heard a little bit of it. But apparently, we're going to take control now of the Straits of Hormuz.
Look, we have them. We have them in the run. Most of their equipment is gone. Their anti-aircraft stuff is gone. We hit them very hard last night. Every time they send a drone, we hit them very hard. But we had a deal. What nobody knows, we had a deal. It was a done deal, and then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people, and so we're just going to hit them very hard. And we're gonna keep the Strait. And we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait. And we should be reimbursed for that. When we do that, we're going to be reimbursed because the other nations are very wealthy. They're on our side. And we can't be expected to do that for nothing, unlike we had for many years. We guarded the Strait for 50 years more, and we never got paid for it. They made all the money, and the United States was just, they wouldn't. It's amazing. It's we guarded it for nothing, and now we're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it, a lot of money. But we just want to be reimbursed for doing all of this, for putting our people in danger.
So I just want to go over this again. Who got paid and made all the money at it? Was there another group of people that were escorting people through, or it was just wide open up until the time that you decided to go in and do what you did? Out of curiosity, I'm trying to figure that out. How is this going to affect the everyday person? Ken, when did you put gas in your car last?
Yesterday.
And was it up from the week before?
Yep, $3.44.
What'd you pay last week?
$3.14.
It's 30 cents. Did you steal any gas over the weekend, young Bell?
No, I couldn't get into your garage.
That's okay.
But I buy at Kroger and I got 10 cents off, so I was at $3.49.
And so without the 10 cents, you'd have been at $3.59.
Correct.
What was it the week before? Do you remember?
I think at that Kroger where I get my gas, I think it was $3.24.
Yeah. So
$3.19, one of the two.
So about 30, 40%, depending on where you are. And this is going to push it up a little bit higher. And now we're talking about, as somebody, I think it was Sally or Sandra said, we're not charging a toll. It's protection money. We're going to protect your stuff. You see what I'm saying here? You think it's going to go through unprotected? We're going to protect it, okay? You need protection from other people out here who may be pirates. So it's protection money. So we've got that. And I think what we're going to see is kerfuffling. Then as we get closer into, depending on how high it goes, also pretending, look at the stock market and everything else, what takes place when it comes to the, if it really explodes again and gets up to that, $4, $4.50, then I think it'll calm down. But I think we'll see tit for tat nearing Labor Day. Then I think Labor Day, it'll slow down because Trump doesn't want Labor Day to be super expensive because that's all anybody will talk about. Then the kerfuffling will begin after Labor Day. And then about a month before midterms, depending on how bad things are, I think that thing will turn around and slow down again. And then after midterms, you don't know. You have no idea what's going to happen. But the thought that we're going to charge a toll now, is everybody else on board with this? Who's paying for it? We're charging ships? Ships that are going where? Do you think Europe and China's going to be thrilled that we'd be charging their people stuff? 20%, by the way. That feels very usury.
Is it 20% of their cargo value?
I would assume.
How do you determine that?
I would assume it's cargo value, right? Right? I mean, don't you think?
I don't know.
I would assume
how would you enforce that?
It's cargo value. I would assume that. I don't know. I mean, could you imagine what that's like? And what do you think's going to happen? Do you think that's going to be and what nations are we charging? Is it only ships that are leaving that are out of Iran, or is it any of the ships in there? A little vague on that. Meanwhile, so this weekend, guys, I sent Ken the guy that got flipped by the bison.
Grandpa.
Now, normally we make fun of stuff like this because nature does nature things, but the reality is nobody was doing anything to said bison. Bison, first of all, there's a lot of cars around. You don't realize how big a bison is until, well, it's next to a Hyundai Elantra because it ran by a little Hyundai. And he thought, sweet goodness, that thing's massive. And Grandpa got tossed. What'd you think? He went about 10 feet in the air?
Oh, shoot,
Yeah.
at least.
12? He could have dunked.
At least 12 feet.
Yeah. I mean, what it shows you, though, is how fragile we are compared to some creatures on Earth. Just how fragile we are.
And how agile buffalo actually are.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah,
move.
that was nuts watching that thing chase him around the
People are
trees.
screaming, "Ah!" and nobody got, because normally it's people go, I'm going to take a picture with the buffalo. And they go up to it. Yeah, I'm a vegetarian. And the buffalo doesn't care. The bison's like, I don't care. I'm going to have to stab you now.
So this poor fella was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
He wasn't really doing anything stupid.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. I mean, just standing there. And they were just taking a picture, him and his grandson, just taking a picture. And it wasn't like they were super close to him. And there was a bunch of other people, but he focused on dude.
Yeah.
And then Grandpa, look, he tried to take off.
He did, man.
He tried to make that move. That did not go well. And he got tossed in the air. So he's in the hospital, shattered leg.
Man.
And
he's going to be okay, though?
Yeah, shattered leg is a great thing compared to what could have happened.
yeah, what could have happened? Because there was a guy, did you see the person in one of the, in Spain got gored almost to death? And he's in intensive care. Now, if you're going to run with the bulls, I have to be honest with you, part of the fun is watching people get stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of part of the fun. I know it sounds horrible, but everybody listening, for the most part, you're all rooting for the same thing we all are, which is I kind of want to see one of them get one over on somebody.
And they know the risk.
They know the risk. Here's my thing, though, and I don't care how far you are away, unless it's miles. Stay in your car, right? Like if you went to the bathroom and you came out and there's a bison there, there's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
But if you decide, I see the bison, I'm going to get out of my vehicle and take a picture, even if you don't get close, know that they cover ground that you don't understand how fast that ground gets covered.
Yeah.
And this is the second because a kid got attacked last week.
And if there's bison wandering into your picnic area,
Yeah.
leave.
Let them picnic all they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leave.
Get out.
Yeah. Just if you see one and you're not at a zoo, get into something that can protect you. Somebody said we should ban assault bison. Dude, he threw that guy like it was a rag doll.
Well, and thank goodness that the bison didn't continue with the attack because sometimes they will throw and then they try to gore.
Yes.
This one just kind of threw and then he just kind of stood there.
And my assumption when I look at it, it panicked. And I don't know if it got away from everybody, like the rest of its herd, and it panicked because it didn't know where to go. And then it turned, and it's almost like that guy ran into its path.
Right.
And then it was just like, I have to move you so I can get wherever it is that I need to get away from all of these people. So, awful situation. But it sounds like he's going to survive. But, whoo, Lordy, just a reminder of what it can do when it wants to. That would be nature. Coming up, speaking of nature. Ho, ho, ho. You ready for sports, Bell?
Always, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's why we love Bell. He does it better than anybody else. Super prepared, completely unprepared. Bell does some sports right at Chad Bench, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital next Thursday, 23rd, 5:30 our time. Market Blind Spot webinar, absolutely free to you. If you worry about your investments, your retirement, and you're thinking maybe things are getting overlooked, people are putting money, you're putting stuff and you're not quite sure. Is it the shiny thing? It's the stuff that you don't see underneath that bubble that could pop, the geopolitical issues that are out there. That's what Bulwark wants to talk to you about. It's absolutely free. It's called the Market Blind Spot. It is happening next Thursday. It's the 23rd. It's happening at 5:30 our time. Absolutely free. They're going to show you what they're all about. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. What can they do to get you the most upside potential? It is a webinar where they show you everything. They pull back the curtain and say, look, this is who we are. This is what we do. And this is how we invest, using fundamentals to grow your retirement and to grow your investments, as well as showing you the fact that there's a global outlook rather than just the few shiny things that we see here. So sign up for today. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital's Market Blind Spot webinar next Thursday at 5:30. That is knowyourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital.
All right, drivers in Lebanon, we still got that road work. One lane open intermittently. That's Highway 109 southbound between Hickory Ridge Road and East Division Street. Only about a 7-minute delay right now. And coming up, the story of a man, his pickup truck, his dog, and a gun outside the U.S. Capitol. That's coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Before we do any of those things, let's do this.
Now it's time for Sports with Barrel. When you need to know sports information, you turn to the guy who calls basketball shooty hoops. Let's talk some sports with Barrel.
Oh, Billy Bear. What you got for us, baby?
So, I didn't watch it because violence scares me, but Conor McGregor hurt himself and has to have surgery now?
Yeah, I mean, it was...
During the fight,
during the fight, during the first... The fight lasted, 30 seconds?
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know
He kicked a couple... He came out, did some wacky kicks, and it looks like he tore his ACL almost immediately, into the fact where after a couple kicks, the other guy's like, he can't fight. Something's wrong with his ankle. Something's wrong with his leg. And then the ref stepped in because he tried to do another one. You could tell he had broken something or torn something.
So he'll have the surgery, do his last fight, and then he retires? That's what it sounds like?
Yeah, he wants to... You're going to go out on a high spot.
Because he got a contract for one more fight.
Yeah, and you can't come back and do one thing and then, I mean, he didn't mean for his, his knee to give out or whatever happened. It was awful. Like, as far as... That's a torn ACL. If that's what it ends up being, it's nasty.
Ugh, so. That's just you get sympathy pains thinking about it.
Yes. It was ugly. It was ugly indeed.
That's a painful sport to begin with.
It is a painful sport to begin with. I golfed this weekend. But you know who else golfed this weekend? His name is Rory McIlroy, one of the top 2 golfers in the world, probably one of the top 5 golfers of all time. And guys out there, if you think your life, when you play golf, you can get frustrated, think about this.
Oops, this is not good.
Oh my God, I'm so bad at golf.
I'm so bad at golf. No.
Dude, I'm so bad at golf. I actually teed off one time, and the ball actually ended up going right beside me and behind me.
Yeah, that happens.
It was terrible.
Look, it's a humbling sport. But then you make that one shot that every pro in the world would want to make, and you're like, I'm never going to do this game again, and then you make that shot and you go, I'll see you guys here next weekend. It's a humbling sport that also likes to give you something like drugs just to come back. Coming back, we've got hour number 2, more on Iran, more on Lindsey Graham, bunch of other stuff on the way. We didn't get to Sam Neill. We need to do that as well because he passed away this weekend. What an actor he was. Chad Bensfield, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. U.S. Capitol Police say they arrested an armed man at a security barricade outside the Capitol this morning. Authorities say the suspect found with a firearm at the north barricade where weapons are prohibited. Officers say they quickly took the man into custody without incident. Investigators now working to determine why he drove to the Capitol. He had a pickup truck and a dog with him. Summer storms creating states of emergency from Philadelphia to Missouri. Here's ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z.
Flash floods and mudslides hitting eastern Tennessee, too. Crumbling roads, damaging buildings, and flooding businesses in Del Rio.
You think you prepare enough for it, but it's an act of nature.
Meanwhile, Camp Tom Sauk in Missouri, deep in Friday's flood zone.
One of the cabins, you couldn't even see because you could only see, the tippy top of the roof.
The National Guard sweeping in with Black Hawk helicopters to rescue more than 200 staff and campers.
Now, flood recovery assistance starting to arrive there in Del Rio, Cott County, East Tennessee. And health officials warning Tennesseans, wash your fruits and vegetables carefully as cyclospora cases continue to rise nationwide. Here's News 2's Peyton Kennedy.
Well, no cases have been tracked by Metro Health here in Nashville. That's as of Thursday. The parasite is typically found in fruits and vegetables, and if consumed, can lead to severe gastrointestinal issues. You'll see Kentucky here is also among the states with the most reported cases, up to 80. And in Tennessee, up to 30 are confirmed. No deaths have been reported. 86 people have been hospitalized due to symptoms. Health experts say this is unlike regular food poisoning. If you're sick, you will likely experience symptoms for a longer period of time.
Yeah, no recall's been issued. The exact source remains unknown. President Trump says the U.S. Navy blockade goes back into effect.
President Trump said Monday he was reinstating the U.S. Navy blockade near the Strait of Hormuz and also claimed the U.S. would charge a 20% toll on all cargo shipped through that waterway, saying it was a, quote, matter of fairness. He didn't say how that would work or why the U.S. had the right to do that in an international waterway that he himself has said should be free for commercial travel. The president earlier today told Fox News the U.S. would take control of the Strait of Hormuz and get paid for protecting it. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Actor Sam Neill has passed away, best known for his role in a number of the Jurassic Park movies. Neill also starred alongside Sean Connery in The Hunt for Red October and the critically acclaimed film The Piano. Here's Sophie Flay.
To millions, he was Dr. Alan Grant.
It's a dinosaur.
The reluctant hero of Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park. Sam Neill, the actor who brought quiet gravity to some of the biggest films of his generation, has died. Born in Northern Ireland and raised in New Zealand, Neill's career spanned more than 50 years. In 2023, he revealed he'd been treated for blood cancer. Earlier this year, Neill revealed that he was cancer-free after a groundbreaking treatment. Sam Neill was 78.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Happy Monday, according to Ken, the best day of the week.
Best day of the week, boys and girls. I mean, we get back to work.
I hope you trip.
Hope you break your hip. Hope that bison comes for you. You know what that guy? You know what that bison is? That's I Hate Mondays bison.
Yeah.
By the way, several of you said the same thing I said to Ken this weekend. I don't know what that bison saw, but I have a feeling he doesn't like suspenders on people. Because that guy was wearing red suspenders. He was a guy who wears red suspenders, also had a belt on. And yes, I'm pretty sure he had a phone holder.
He had suspenders and a belt.
You never know. I don't know what's going on, but it could happen.
I'll tell you one thing, my pants are not going to come down.
And I got he's a guy who has a phone clip. You know he does, just in case at any given time. He's got to take out his giant phone. Oh, Lordy. It's the best day of the week. Doesn't get any better than
Best day of the week is Monday, boys. We stop having fun and we get down to business.
Let's talk about the excitement that is war. Kerfuffling. I'm still trying to figure out how us charging a toll is going to make things cheaper.
Yeah, who's going to pay it? I guess we're making people pay this toll?
Yeah, 20%. He said maybe we'll charge them. Okay, but who's paying that? Is it the shipping company? Is it the country of origin? Is it the country it's going to? Is it the... what? How did we get here? But that's not going to make things cheaper. Isn't that the goal? I thought the goal was to make things cheaper. And then my thought is, okay, so they're going to pay us a toll. And then wait, they're paying us, but they still have to pay Iran? So now they're getting double tolled. 40%? So what is it? 20% of what? Like, Bell asked a good question. 20% of what the ship has cargo-wise? I have no idea. And by the way, if you guys want to know what's happening with oil today, it's up about 9%. So you paid $3.44, Ken?
Yep.
If it stayed in and around here next week, you're probably I'd say paying close to $3.74.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Son of a biscuit eater. Yeah. So expect gas to rise. I no idea what is going on and why it's going on this way. Well, they're bombing, we're bombing, they're bombing, we're bombing. But there's no real... It's a weird thing because apparently we were meeting with them yesterday, and then they said after 11 hours, they came out and said, nah, we don't want this deal. And then finding out that maybe the old members-only jacket guy may be the guy that Israel's pushing to take over. And then so they've got and arrested him. I mean, it's all sideways. And the memorandum of understanding, just to let you guys know, did not hold.
That thing is gone.
It is so gone. But don't worry, guys, because the last I checked, we got a deal.
They want to make a deal.
And they want to make a deal so badly.
They want to make a deal so badly. I do see a deal in Iran. It's looking very good that we're going to make a deal. This process should go very quickly. We're going to end that war very quickly. We're in the final throes of what will be a very, very good deal. And they want to make the deal a lot more than I do. We have our deal done with Iran, and it should be successful. We're making an amazing deal with Iran. They want to make a deal with us very badly. They're dying to make a deal. They're giving us a lot. They want to make a deal so badly.
I don't think they do. I don't even think we know who we're dealing with at this point in time. Because you're dealing with IRGC. Do they have the final say? What son is still alive? Do they have the final say? Ahmadinejad, who wanted to, members only jacket guy. Now he's apparently going to be under house arrest.
Yeah.
And we already blew up the house he was arrested last time because he would like to be the cultural. Because one thing about him is, well, he talked the talk. He was a little bit more. He was less of a religious zealot because he had the members only jacket. And as we all know, when you're that member, maybe the last one, we were cool with you.
Yeah, he was imprisoned or put under house arrest for meeting with the head of the Mossad.
Yeah, because the thought process is they would like him to be the guy. So, don't know.
But as an Iranian, especially as an Iranian posing as an actual official, what do you think is going to come out of meeting with the head of the Mossad? It's not going to end well for you in your country.
No, and here's the other thing. Well, look at the lights flashing in here. What is going on?
Hey, man.
I don't know.
Oh, man. It's coming.
Somebody's haunting you.
It's happening. But the whole thought about first of all, you're meeting with the Mossad, which has to be terrifying because they could take you out.
Yeah.
Right? And so that didn't happen. But then they knew that this would get back to the heads of the IRGC. So then you knew at any given time you could be taken under house arrest and screwed. And you could be done for. So there you go. Therein lies the magic of it all. But what we do know is we're going to apparently be charging more for the toll that we weren't charging because now we're protecting an area that prior to the war needed no protection for the most part. Outside of, parts of the Red Sea, Yemen, around the coast there. So, goodness me, this thing's going to go up and away. Not quite thrilled by that. You were talking about Sam Neill. Man, that guy was such a great actor. I loved him. And he was in The Piano, he was in all those things. But he the last several years.
Event Horizon.
Yeah, Event Horizon. That's right. And of course, he was in Jurassic Park. His claim to fame, though, was in Hunt for Red October. That's where America found out who he was.
Yeah.
Because he had done some shows in New Zealand and Australia. And then he went over, as they said, he went across the ditch. That's what they call, and then he went over across the pond and he went to England and he had a couple of things. And then he got a Hunt for Red October. And that's kind of when he became something. And then he got a flood of opportunities, including Jurassic Park. And he was not, from what I understand, the cancer didn't kill him. He had blood cancer, a rare form of it. Something else did. And he lived in New Zealand. He had a beautiful winery. And he used to talk about the fact that he goes, I don't have to be a star. He goes, I know stars and I know big stars. And I can go into town and everybody says, hi, Sam. And that's it. I don't have to have bodyguards. I don't have to. He goes, I live the best of both worlds where I get to do something you love for a living and get paid handsomely for it. And I don't have to worry about stars. The star treatment of having 20 bodyguards around you all the time. So, man, that's I said today, like, who impacted your life more? On the happiness scale, it would have to be Sam Neill. On the impacted your life more of deaths this weekend, it would have to be Lindsey Graham because of war. And some of you last hour, look, here's my thing with Lindsey, and let's separate the two. I can look at him and say, you were a bit of a warmonger, because you were. Absolutely, 100%. Now, as a person, I didn't know you. I don't care about what went on in your personal life, any of that stuff. But you did like a war. But you wanted to be relevant, and you were a chameleon. And there's got to be some credit for that. You got to take the good and the bad. We sometimes like to sugarcoat things for people after they died. This is not a sugarcoating or damnation. I've told you guys this. It hasn't changed. Him dying doesn't make the things that he pushed for when it came to the Middle East and for us getting involved in places all over the globe militarily, that doesn't change. But he was also able to work across the aisle. He united the party, the Republican Party, prior to Trump, that had gone two separate ways. You had the Bush wing and you had the McCain wing. And McCain took him under his wing and they became best of friends. But he was able to unite a bit of both parties. And he went after Trump. He did not like Trump at first, but he wanted to be around power. That was the big thing with Lindsey. Lindsey liked to be, in the room, liked to be around the power, and he was that. And he had some great moments, too. We could talk about the Kavanaugh moment was a big moment, all of those things. But the reality for us and for me is he pushed a lot on the war side of stuff. He was a war hawk. I would say this today, in Kyiv, it's a bigger blow to them than maybe even Israel.
He actually said that because we bombed Nagasaki and Hiroshima, that it would be okay for
Israel
to bomb Iran, nuke Iran.
Yeah, and do whatever they needed to do to win any war they ever needed to go to. And so that to me was a little, I have to be honest, I was not thrilled by those things. because I don't want to be in wars. I think most of you don't want to be in wars either.
And I'm pretty sure everybody wants to make sure nukes don't drop anywhere.
Yeah. Which is, when everybody says we should do what we need to do with Iran and just nuke them, it doesn't work that way. We don't get to be the only one at that point in time that nukes somebody and expects nothing else to happen. We don't. But when it came to Ukraine, he was he still looked at Russia as the former Soviet Union. And he thought we should have done everything we could. That's where he was this weekend. He was in Ukraine. And he came back from Ukraine, and, my buddy Jim, he emailed me late at night. He's like, I don't want to bug you, but I woke up at 3 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep because my cat drives me crazy. And I woke up.
Your cat misses the dogs.
He does. He misses the dogs. So I woke up, and I'm like, I can't sleep. So I, turn on TV, and I'm like, I'll do a little working out and stuff, and I'll read. And next thing you know, I see that he had died. I'm like, there's no way he died. But he did. He passed away. And again, by the sounds of it, aortic dissection.
Yeah, it's the same
rupture,
thing that John Ritter died from it. Well, most people won't know, but Peter Steele from Typo Negative. And I actually had a friend who passed away because of that. Looked healthy as a horse, in good shape. No issues whatsoever, and then bang, just dropped dead.
So it's instant.
It basically what it is your aorta splits open
because there's so much plaque,
and you just bleed out.
You bleed out internally.
Yeah, and if you get if you can get immediate treatment, there is a chance you can survive. But for the most part,
it literally has to be like immediate.
Immediate. Yeah.
The only person I've ever heard of pausing from getting treatment and still living is, and I can't remember his damn name now. He's the blonde guitarist in Judas Priest.
Oh, KK Down.
No, it's the guy that replaced KK.
Oh.
Who lives here, and I should know his name. But he was at a show, started feeling extreme pain in his chest, finished the show. They took him to the hospital, and he was in the middle of it splitting open.
Didn't have, that also happened to, wasn't it Kevin Smith, right?
No, he just had a regular widowmaker heart attack.
Regular. Just the regular kind.
Just the regular kind of almost dead.
Yeah. But,
wow.
Yeah. So it was, my grandfather passed away, but there was warning signs. He was sick for several days, like stomach. He thought he had the stomach flu and several things that, you look back and they go, these are some of the things that you need to pay attention to. But he was at a traffic stop, 73 years old. He looked over at his girlfriend and said he didn't feel good, and he slumped forward and onto the car where it was honking, and it was it. He was done. And you're like, kind of same thing. Just the doctor's like, we couldn't. If it happened in the hospital, we couldn't save him. So, but yeah, that was crazy. But at first they thought maybe it was thrombosis, right? Because he was traveling for 24 hours. But no, it was this, and his family had heart issues in the past too. And I don't know if he was a heavy drinker. I don't know if he smoked. I don't know any of the, those things.
As the guy that replaced KK was Richie Faulkner.
And that was the guy?
And if you know Richie, please tell him I apologize for forgetting his name.
Well, but it was a tragedy, no doubt. Look, again, I can have disagreement with him, and we poked fun at him and maybe, but the reality is when it came to the war side of stuff, I was not a fan of that. I think he warmongered too much. I think he was fine sending other people's kids into battle. I think he was fine when it came to blowing up all the things that needed to be blowed up on the other side of it, no matter who it affected, as long as it was our allies. And he said it. We're bombing the right people. Sorry, that was a bridge way too far for me when it came to him. And I was always shocked knowing he was in the military for as long as he was, but being friends with John McCain and what kind of war hawks they were, to me, it just fascinated me. I was like, how could you want to drag us into more and more stuff? Because it never seemed to lead to anything good. Never did. It hasn't. All right, coming up. World Cup tomorrow. Talk a little bit about that. Check the weather too, man. We were golfing yesterday, Ken. We got to the 16th hole. And the gods opened up.
Yeah, that's what can happen with these pop-up showers, dude. It can just all of a sudden hit.
Yeah. I mean, it was Like when I got in the car, because we thought, oh, it's sprinkling. Oh, we'll play the 17th and we'll see how the 18th is. And it was ferocious. And I got in the car and I was drenched. Like I jumped in the water within like 4 or 5 minutes. It was that nasty. So we'll talk a bit about that as well. Chad Benson, Super Talk. Yeah.
We forgot when it comes to Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Omen 3, baby.
Omen 3. Yeah, that's right. Omen 3. He was the older Damien.
Yeah.
That was going to take over the world.
It was like his first really, really big movie.
Yeah, but Hunt for Red October was so massive.
Well, that was a mainstream movie,
Yeah.
but as far as real
we
work,
would recognize him in that. So, no doubt. What's your favorite Sam Neill movie? Passed away today. He was 78 years old. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Relief Factor is amazing this weekend. Thank goodness for Relief Factor. I worked out pretty hard yesterday, especially. Golfed a bunch and worked out a little bit after that. Cleaned the entire house, did all this kind of stuff. I feel amazing. Felt great. I thought, well, I'll wake up today and see how I feel, But my Relief Factor, time and time again, it's amazing. Naturally formulated. You can take it every single day. It works so well to fight inflammation in your muscles, those aches and pains in your joints, which is the vast majority of what is wrong when you look outside and you go, well, what's wrong? It's your aches and pains because of inflammation. Number one cause of that. So that's what I want you to do. Try Relief Factor, 1776, 3-week quick start. Naturally formulated, take it every single day. Third-party tested for purity and potency. It works from the inside out. It doesn't mask the pain. Try Relief Factor. Put it to the test. Go to ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com to get your 3-week quick start. Call 800-4-RELIEF. 800, the number 4-RELIEF for Relief Factor. Wellness Institute of Nashville. We're just talking about aches and pains in your joints and muscles. That's one thing. It's another thing when you've got serious issues, right? So you got stuff with your spine and you've got things that are happening and you need to have that spine looked at and taken care of. That's the Wellness Institute of Nashville. $33 off each visit. Go to painisbad.com or call 615-246-5009. This is the Epic Spinal Special. And not only is it about you going to see Dr. Mitchell and the knowledge he has, but also the innovation. Medical Bay One, futuristic healing machine, right? That massages your body. They got lasers in it. And they've got this machine that helps with stem cell stimulation for tissue regeneration, photons of wavelengths, ultimate healing. It is incredible. So when you've got issues with your spine and you're worried, I don't want to take surgery, I don't want injections, I don't want painkillers, this is what the Wellness can do for you. So check out what they can do for you. Dr. Mitchell's my doctor. He should be yours. Go to painisbad.com, painisbad.com, or call 615-246-5009, 246-5009 for the Wellness Institute in Nashville.
All right, drivers in Lebanon still got road work. Only one lane open. Highway 109 southbound between Hickory Ridge Road and East Division Street. An armed man under arrest just outside the U.S. Capitol And law enforcement officials on the scene of an ICE-involved shooting in Bedford, Maine. These stories and more at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Alvarez! Oh! That is a wondrous goal! Argentina do it again!
Rogers lets it go. Milan spills it. It's a goal! It's Jude Bellingham! It's England back in front! So we've got the Final Four of the World Cup. Tomorrow kicks off France, Spain, which is going to be awesome. And then the Battle of the Puffins. Argentina v. England. That's going to be so awesome. That is going to be... But tomorrow's awesome, too. I mean, there's the top 4 teams in the world playing.
Considering how long ago the Falklands War was, is there still serious animosity?
Serious animosity. Serious. Wow. Serious. They take that thing very seriously. You've got the Hand of God goal in 86. Of course, earlier in the decade, you had the Falklands War.
What's the Hand of God goal?
That's Diego Maradona in the 86 World Cup, where he jumped up and he put his hand above his head and it hit his arm and went in the net. And he said it was the Hand of God that did it, which really, no, it was you, Diego. We saw that. And that's, helped them propel them to victory over England there. You had bad blood in the 2002 World Cup, and Beckham got red carded. There's all kinds of... So there's a lot of issues when it comes to their rivalry. And, yeah, the Falklands is still an issue. I mean, it heated up last year. They thought they were going to throw down again over the Puffins. Who doesn't want a Puffin? You
know what makes a red card feel better?
What?
Being married to Posh Spice.
Yeah, it does. That was. I don't think they were married then. I don't know if they
is now.
Yeah, they are. He was at the game.
Was Posh Spice the prettiest?
Yes. Yeah, she was the pretty one. She
had the short brunette hair.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So she is easy on the eyes, if you will. Very easy on the eyes. And then you've got then you've got France tomorrow versus Spain.
That's going to be a good one.
Good one. Everybody's like, nobody can stop Spain. I mean, France. Yeah, that's the team that's playing them. They can stop them. They've stopped them before last year in the Nations League semifinal. It was 5-4, but they've got the best defense at all.
Somebody texted in earlier and asked if you would rather have the Spanish-speaking finale or the Islamic finale between England and France.
So I'm fine with either. I think you're going to get, do I want to see, here's the thing with England going to the World Cup final. I couldn't even imagine what New York's going to be like that week. Starting Thursday through Sunday, the drinking, the amount of party going on, and the cost of tickets would be through the roof. So, but could I see Spain, Argentina? Yeah. I could see any of these teams. Huh?
When's the final?
Sunday.
So pretty much whoever wins, their country will have no productivity on the next Monday.
No. Well, either countries in the final, productivity will be very much at a minimum.
How do we let that one guy you played for us call the game?
Andres Cantor?
Yes.
He does call the game.
So he will be calling the finals.
Yes. And in fact, Ken, very interesting. So last week they had the U.S. ratings come out. The U.S. ratings for their game was so big that it's bigger than divisional championship rounds in the NFL.
Interesting.
Also, a lot of Americans are choosing to watch Telemundo with Andres Cantor.
Absolutely.
Because you just can't. How could you not? Andres is amazing. He's absolutely incredible. And here's the thing. Argentina is where he's from. So when they won last time, he lost his mind. You think he loses his voice? Oh, absolutely. On Wednesday, if they win, he's going to lose his voice again. He won't be able to say a thing until the game on Sunday.
I want them to win simply because of him.
Yeah. So, but he will be doing all of the games all the way through on Telemundo. He is their star, and there's no doubt he is the star. So, coming up, a little bit about Iran to talk about the fact that apparently we're not a livable state, according to bathrooms and being mean and whatnot. Don't know how that happened. And nothing to do with affordability or whether or not it's a good business climate. Just has all to do with cultural issues. So we'll talk a bit about that as well. Chad Bencho, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. Got a lot going on this Monday. An armed man under arrest after a security breach outside the U.S. Capitol. Capitol Police say officers detained the suspect near the Senate side of the complex after discovering he had a gun. He was in a pickup with a dog. Law enforcement officials on the scene in the coastal town of Biddeford, Maine, where a person was killed in an ICE-involved shooting. This is Fox News correspondent Alexis McAdams.
We know federal agents are trying to piece together everything that happened as witnesses tell local media that ICE agents surrounded a car and repeatedly ordered the driver to get out. Then seconds later, we're told they heard gunshots, and it was also captured on surveillance video. Listen to this. We are told that the FBI and Maine State Police are working the case right now, and the feds have not yet said who was killed.
So authorities and immigrant advocacy groups there say the person who was killed was a 26-year-old Colombian man who was authorized to work in the U.S. and had a Social Security number. A federal judge in Florida says President Trump's lawsuit against the IRS was filed in bad faith and was an attempt to manipulate the judicial process. So that judge has imposed sanctions and referred several attorneys involved in the case for possible disciplinary review. Trump's legal team maintains the lawsuit stemmed from the improper disclosure of his confidential tax information. And President Trump today saying the U.S. will reinstate the naval blockade against Iran and would charge a 20% toll on all cargo shipped through the Strait of Hormuz.
Now we're going to guard it. We're going to get paid for guarding it. A lot of money. But we just want to be reimbursed for doing all of this, for putting our people in danger.
That's Trump on Fox and Friends this morning. Tennessee's dead last in a report for quality of life. Cnbc says it looked at factors including crime, health care access, child care, worker protections, and state laws affecting inclusiveness. CNBC cited what it claims is Tennessee's high violent crime rate and health care challenges among the reasons for the ranking. The state's lone bright spot, according to CNBC, air quality. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Speaking of weather, don't let the weather be a downer when it comes to your house, when it comes to things like, your foundation. Ooh, that's why you need USS. Get USS out there. United Structural Systems, been around since 1994. Thousands upon thousands of happy customers, and they're ready to help you. They can reroute water away from basements, crawl spaces with your home, because those little cracks, they tell stories. You don't want there to be situations where, we're so saturated. Next thing you know, it goes from point A to point B, and all of a sudden, you've got wood rot. Oh, you don't want that. You've got mold. You don't want that. Let USS come out, put a stop before it starts. And then same thing with the foundation. You don't want it to start bowing, and then it goes sideways, then all of a sudden you got a slant, and all of a sudden they're out there and going, hey, if we could have got to this earlier, we could have fixed it earlier. They're not going to sell you anything you don't need. They're going to come out and give you absolutely the best when it comes to inspection. So call USS today. Simple and easy. They're dependable. They're trustworthy. Plus, they got great offers this month. 10% off when you pay in full. Fix it now or pay later. 18 months, no payment, no interest. Or 36-month, no interest, low payment options. Qualified home buyers. 615-488-7855. 488-7855 or online at USSTN.com. I saw a lot of those commercials this weekend on the old television.
About every 5 minutes.
About every 5 minutes. Just you couldn't escape them.
Yeah, it's you. There's no way to not know that it is election season.
Yeah, and just they all are the same. Hey, can anybody not wear some sort of flannel? Is it possible that maybe you guys get another shirt?
Hey, the common man wears flannel.
Common man. What are you, a lumberjack?
And grunge artists.
Well, they're the common people too.
Yeah, they are, and I understand that they are the common people comparatively to the person who wears the same outfit. You guys do not have. Nobody's telling you guys different. And then you've got, Marsha just crushing the fortune cookie, which is still just.
She's going to save us from China one cookie at a time.
How many of you have seen stuff, and I'm sure you've seen Ken too, it's like, really, that's the number one? The number one concern of voters in Tennessee is like, I think communist China is going to come take us over.
They're going to buy all our farmland, even though it's already illegal.
That's the number one concern. I've seen more people blast that. No, I don't even think that's the top 10. Somebody in her office sat there and went, this is it. This is the winner. You know what people are really worried about? Communist China.
This is some good stuff.
Yeah.
Got to put this on TV and the radio.
Yeah. Trump doesn't want. I stand with Trump in fighting communist China. Trump gave in to TikTok. You remember when banning TikTok was a huge thing? They all got together like, we need to ban TikTok. Then every constituent they had said, we're going to go to their other one that's even actually owned by the communists. And they're like, we should probably bring TikTok back. All right. Okay. TikTok can stay, but.
However,
it's got to be owned by an American company, but still pretty much run by a Chinese group of people. And then last week, Trump's like, I'm number one on TikTok Talk. It's like, I'm the number one guy on there. I don't know why. People think I'm the number one. They like me. It's what it is. So, come on. You know what? I want you guys to text in right now. Bell, tell them how to text in.
615-737-9986.
All right. Text in. What is your number one concern? Is it communist China? Do you go to bed at night? Tell me. Is it the IRGC or is it communist China? Which one of those is the massive concern for you? Could it be affordability? I mean, what is it? Yeah. Oh, I know John Rose has China in his ads too. I know they all do. Like, that is so far from my mind of things that are important.
Somebody has done a political research project, and somewhere along the lines, China scored well, so that's what they're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that is as stupid as CNBC's we're the worst state to live in because we don't allow trans men to go into girls' bathrooms and compete in their sport.
We don't say nice things.
We don't say nice things. That is the dumbest thing. I mean, that is, if you're going to worry about anything, if you're going to run the state, you're going to be it. You're the CEO of the state. You're the president of a state, essentially. You're the mini president. It's affordability. It's making sure that you stay on track with the things that you really need to do. Right? I mean, like, what does this state need? We need more houses. We need more affordability. We need to keep it moving forward.
Infrastructure.
Absolutely. Potholes. Somebody do the potholes. Somebody. Fixing the tax system that everybody wants to pay no taxes, but everybody wants services. That doesn't work that way. So you can't just go, hey, Acme feed and seed. You have to pay everybody's taxes. It's not China.
Actually, they just need to shut down since they can't afford the taxes.
Yeah, it's just, what is it? What do you think the number one thing is? Better access to health care locally? Yeah, I think that would be a big deal. Bringing the crime rates down? Absolutely. But China is nowhere. I don't even know how she got that. Who thought that was the best plan of action? I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's the economy, inflation. Big Brother, there's another thing. All these flock cameras everywhere. That's a big deal, right? Potholes. I'm telling you, potholes is a big deal.
Dude, Those potholes where you turn off to go south on 65 from eastbound 40, they're getting bigger every day.
We're going to get a call one day. Ken's going to be down there. What's it like? Hey, you guys know Marshall, Will, and Holly? Found them.
And Chaka.
Chaka. It's got to find Chaka. Chaka's the man. Property taxes. There's a big deal. Gas prices, food taxes, rent. Basically, affordability is number one.
Absolutely.
So, number one, making tuna more affordable. We're going to do that, guys. Potholes, though. I like that. So, affordability. Some of you with your funny jokes. Huffing paint and affordability. So, here's the thing. Eliminating property taxes. Okay, so if we eliminate property taxes, let's just say we do that. Where do we get the money?
Paul, before he passed, was actually beginning to work on a project where he was going to have the property tax replaced by a
spending
zero revenue sales tax.
Okay. But then everybody wants to eliminate the food tax. So we're eliminating all these taxes, and then we're going to have no taxes, but then we're just going to ask people to volunteer?
Yes. Voluntarism. What is it?
It's volunteer. We're on volunteer.
Volunteer state.
That's it. Childcare. That's a big one.
That is. That is huge.
So we have, what did I read? 2 out of, I think it's only 2 counties in our state that have enough childcare places. Think about that.
Yep, that's what old Mayor Freddie's trying to do here in Nashville with, he apparently got rid of some regulations, so now there can be 2 child cares within, right there on the same block.
You could put 10 and you could fill them all up.
Yes.
Wait a minute. They actually regulated it to where you couldn't...
Yeah, it couldn't be. They couldn't be within a certain distance of each other.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. And one of the reasons they do that, it was probably like a kinder care. One of the big places probably lobbied to make sure that they kind of had...
they had the monopoly.
It would not surprise me one bit.
And that was before things started to get out of control. When you think about the cost of childcare and the fact that we've talked about it before, that so if you want to send your kid to Middle Tennessee State and you're in the state, you want to send them there, or you want to send your kid to childcare is going to cost you more at the rate we're going than sending a kid to college.
Yeah. Just think about the single parents out there, man, who they've got to have childcare to go to work.
Yeah, they do. It's a must. It's not a... this is not
everybody's got grandma and grandpa down the street.
No, not everybody does. So, not everybody has that. So, you just, and it's great if you have grandma and grandpa.
It is. It's absolutely wonderful. But
wonderful.
Man, for those who don't.
It is absolutely, even people that are 2 families, a two-parent household, and both of them are working, you know this, Ken. You go and childcare is eating up one of the salaries outside of just a little bit extra.
Yeah.
And you get them going, well, why do I even need to work?
And when you are doing your best to prevent competition by doing things like not allowing 2 daycares within a certain amount of each other, you're making the problem worse.
Yes.
Competition lowers prices.
Yes, it does. It lowers prices.
Yeah,
but the thing
that
is,
doesn't make people rich.
No, if I have a childcare place, I want no competition.
Well, yeah, but that's not the way capitalism is supposed to work.
No, but we don't have capitalism. We have crony capitalism.
Right.
So that's a different story.
That is.
We have, hey, let me make sure that I have no competition in my area so I can charge whatever I want and have to tell you it's full.
And I'll lobby government to make it okay.
Yeah. So
you need government to protect your business.
Miles of me.
15 miles. See, and that's the other thing. Think about this. If you're a parent, that's an extra 30 minutes to an hour out of your day, depending on traffic. And if you get stuck in a pothole, getting over to your kid, it's more gas. It's more out of the way. And it's so damn frustrating. But these are the things that matter to people. And I get some of you guys, the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act will have nothing to do with the governor. Like, she can't vote on it. So
yeah, it's already she can't help that along.
yeah, that's what they're trying to pass. But affordability, absolutely number one. And property tax. I know a lot of people want to eliminate property tax or cut it down tremendously, and it sounds awesome, which it is because it's out of control. But you also can't have it at zero because it goes back to how much of a value-added tax do you want to have on everything? It's like, do you want to see it? I don't want it on groceries. Okay, we're not going to have it on groceries. And I don't want it on this, and I don't. So at some point in time, you have to ask yourself, okay, where's that fine line of we want to have taxes on, and I'm like for, what Bell said, some of the stuff that they've talked about. And, we call it VAT, value-added tax onto stuff, whether it's a penny or 2 pennies or 3 pennies or whatever it ends up being, because we're spending, that's great. Let's go with that. But if we eliminate all taxes, well, then we're going to have an issue. We don't want that. So what is it going to be? Property tax should stop when you pay your house off. So that's, I heard a lot of that. But here's the thing on the property tax. Who pays off their house? People who are older. Right? They're usually the ones paying off their house. Who's struggling to afford a home? Younger people. So then you're going to shift all of that burden onto them and make it even tougher and make the barrier harder for them to want to have kids, to want to buy a house, to want to do those things. It's not simple and easy, but these things matter. You know what doesn't matter? China. I know Bell and Ken hit me up this week and they're like, dude, I'm really worried about China. I haven't slept a wink because of China.
Yeah, but I drank a fifth of whiskey after that, so I did get some pretty restless sleep.
Well, you can drink a fifth of whiskey,
and I was having nightmares about China though. So I woke up with these anxiety attacks because I couldn't even get into my dreams and get away from China.
Yeah. Well, you can't. And by the way, this person 8962 said it. Florida's going to have no property tax if the election goes correct in November because they want to eliminate property tax for seniors. Talk about super selfish. So where does that burden go to then?
Straight to whatever middle class is left.
Whatever middle class is left and whatever younger generation who's trying to purchase a house, that will all be passed off to them, making that barrier again higher and tougher for them to get it. The entry point is escaping them on a daily basis. It's getting further and further away. And you know what? Somebody said earlier, well, we don't have to worry at the rate we're not producing babies. We won't need childcare in the future. No. But if you make life that much harder for a younger generation and we want them to procreate, better figure something out. No doubt about that. Coming up, some great movies from Sam Neill. Some of you chimed in. We'll talk a little more. We got a bunch of your texts as well, including my favorite movie by Sam Neill. It is amazing. If you haven't seen it, came out about 10 years ago. It is incredible. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7. Incogni. I want you guys to check out Incogni. INCOGNI. They're going to help you when it comes to your data. Your data is out there floating around. Do you know how many people can get your data? Anybody. If you got a credit card, you talk to a data broker, you can buy all kinds of data. And the data, everything, the medicine you take, the doctors you see, where you shop, they got everything about you. Pretty much including your family, your last name, all the stuff to make sure that they can scam you out of things. That's kind of crazy, I know, but it's the reality of it. Data is super important, and you're sick and tired of scams that come with phone calls, text messages, emails. Put an end to it with Incogni. What are they going to do? They're going to go through because every data broker has to give you a way off the list. Incogni knows they make it impossible. You know what Incogni does? They make it possible. 407 data brokers have had to get me off their list. Thank you. And every day they go out there and they bust their butts to make sure that I don't get back on the list. Try it for yourself. Less spam, fewer scam calls and emails, and a lot less of your personal data is going to be floating around on the internet. Find out what they can do for you. Go to Incogni, INCOGNI.com/Benson. Use that promo code Benson. 60% off when you sign up. And the dashboard they got is incredible. Shows you everything they're working on. It is amazing. That's Incogni.com/Benson. Use code Benson.
All right, drivers in Lebanon still got road work. It has 109 southbound down to one lane there between Hickory Ridge Road and East Division Street. Tennessee is among states seeing an increase in cases of the parasitic explosive diarrhea. That's coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's something that she should be concerned about.
Yes.
You know, if you elect me as your next governor, I'll make sure that I stop explosive diarrhea, which is brought to you by the Chinese communists.
Is it just me, or does Ken sound like he's having way too much fun saying explosive diarrhea?
He's having the right type of fun, which is he doesn't have it.
Boys, I love this story.
It's a good story.
I'm sorry.
To cover. It's bad if you got it. Good to cover.
It's terrible if you've got it, and good Lord, I don't want it.
Ken, I just love the fact that you're back there enjoying your job.
Oh.
Well, it is
Even
Monday.
on it is, yeah, it is
Well, it's
Monday.
Monday. It's the best day of the week.
Best day of the week.
I mean, we quit just sitting around doing whatever we want to do, and we do what we have to do.
We ended the laziness of the weekend.
That's right. not bringing you entertainment. We live to be entertaining and informative. Infotainment is what we live to bring you each and every day. So we're going to get back to your text next hour. Again, we want you guys to tell us what you think is the most important thing to Tennessee besides not being mean, according to CNBC, but that the governor should focus on. So Sam Neill passed away. He did a movie I think it was about a decade ago, called The Hunt for the Wilder People.
I never even heard of it.
Okay. And it is an amazing movie. It stars, Taika Waititi. Is that his name?
That's close, but I can't remember.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So he's awesome. But it also stars Julian Dennison, who is the kid who played the flame guy in the Deadpool movies, the little young kid.
Oh, yeah.
And it is an amazing movie. It's got 97 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's one of those comedy, fun, tragic. This kid's been all over the place, kicked out of every, like foster home, and he goes to live with
He couldn't help it that he had powers.
Yeah, he can't help it. But he goes to live with these, and I guess Sam Neill plays the grandpa of them, who's very, is a curmudgeon, but they form this great bond and they both go on the run. And it's an amazing movie. If you have a chance, check it out.
He and the kid?
Yeah, he and the kid go on a run. And it's awesome. But yeah, he was in so many things. Yeah, The Piano, The Mouth of Madness.
The Event
Horizon. He has got next year King Kong movie coming out. He stars in that, one of the stars in that. And he's got The Last Resort, which is another romantic comedy thing that he stars in.
Is the King Kong movie a sequel of the series that's been out?
Yeah, it's Kong and Godzilla.
Okay.
It's a musical this time. It's going to be pretty good.
Got it.
I'm pretty excited.
Does Godzilla dance?
Does he dance? Both of them dance. It's going to be a dance-off. It's like you got served. Hour number 3 straight ahead. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 98.7.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in East Tennessee, flash flooding caused mudslides and rescues. Community organizations mobilizing to help residents recover from the weekend flash flooding there in Del Rio, Cocke County. Tennessee among the states seeing an increase in cases of cyclosporiasis, a parasite that causes severe stomach illness or explosive diarrhea. Health officials say Tennessee's reported between 11 and 30 cases as part of a larger nationwide outbreak, up to 80 cases in Kentucky. And restaurants are changing what they offer because of it, says Sophie Flay.
Some restaurants are now changing their menus as a parasitic intestinal infection linked to produce spreads across the country. The CDC is tracking cases of cyclosporiasis across at least 31 states, from California to New York. Officials have been unable to link the contamination to one supplier or grower. The CDC says outbreaks have typically been linked to fresh produce, such as lettuce, cilantro, and raspberries.
Over in our nation's capital, an armed man is under arrest after a security incident outside the U.S. Capitol. Capitol Police say officers detained the suspect near the Senate side of the complex after discovering he had a gun. He apparently drove there in a pickup with a dog. Federal and state authorities investigating a fatal shooting involving ICE agents in Biddeford, Maine. This is Fox News correspondent Alexis McAdams.
We know federal agents are trying to piece together everything that happened as witnesses tell local media that ICE agents surrounded a car and repeatedly ordered the driver to get out. Then seconds later, we're told they heard gunshots, and it was also captured on surveillance video. Listen to this. We are told that the FBI and Maine State Police are working the case right now, and the feds have not yet said who was killed.
So immigrant rights groups identify the man as a 26-year-old Colombian who was legally authorized to work in the U.S. and had a Social Security number. President Trump today saying the U.S. will reinstate the naval blockade against Iranian ships and ports and would charge a 20% toll on all cargo shipped through the Strait of Hormuz. He said that on Fox and Friends.
We're going to keep the Strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait.
And 12 states are now suing to block the proposed merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery from moving forward. ABC's Mike Dubusky.
The new lawsuit claims the $110 billion deal to merge two of the largest entertainment companies in the world would result in less competition, higher prices, and fewer options on the big and the small screen. California Attorney General Rob Bonta leading the effort.
Movie theaters, basic cable TV distributors, and audiences on every sofa and in every movie seat would feel the impact of this unlawful merger.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Tennessee not among the states suing. And that's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
What is up? Happy Monday, as Ken put it, the greatest day of the week.
Yep, that's when our freedom ends and we get back to doing what we have to do, by God.
I remember that song. Let freedom end. Let work begin. Oh, my Lord.
Man, can you imagine growing up with Ken as a father?
Phenomenal.
What do you mean you're going to have fun on a Friday night? I'm not tolerating that.
That's
Kids,
right.
We're just going to stay in bed all day on Sunday.
All day. We're going to stay there. We're going to start dreaming about how tomorrow we can get up and work.
No, you can't use the car. Why did you even ask?
Because working helps your constitution, helps bring your soul closer to government, which is the most important thing. So speaking of that, this is this guy who apparently lived next door to old John Rose. And it's just funny listening to him because it's like, Tennesseans for Marcia, one of those kind of like Instagram, TikTok accounts.
Hello, my name's Vern Crabtree.
Hello,
and,
Vern.
I have to say something. This campaign for governor has really gotten humorous. I've watched it, and I've bit my tongue this whole time. I grew up next door to John Rose in Cookeville, Tennessee. My dad was a medical doctor. We lived over in close to the Lowland area. If you don't know where that's at, it's the wealthier part of Cookeville. We lived on 6th Street. I lived on 6th and Clark. John lived on 6th Street. John wasn't a farmer. He was not a farmer. He had a farm. His family had a farm in a surrounding county. But there wasn't any farms over where we lived. And I don't remember John ever working on one. Anyway, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. It's really hilarious.
But that's because he couldn't work there. Because he was too busy getting ready to fight communist China. You can't do that on a farm.
You can't do that without prep work either.
That's right. Got to do that. And he had to flannel shop. You know how hard it is to flannel shop?
When your wife does it for you?
So many flannels. So many flannels out there. So I've got this weekend was the first weekend where there was no escape. Every commercial was, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I couldn't believe. Well, they're all the same. They're hard on China. They're with Trump. They're going to stop illegal immigration. They're going to lower your taxes. They're going to give you,
If you put them in Congress, they'll solve everything by themselves.
By themselves. I don't even need another person. I could do everything I need to do. So put me in Congress. I'll be Trump's best friend. Ever. No, but alas, here we are. But we're asking a lot of you, what's the number one thing that you think Tennesseans worry about? Because, I'm sorry, communist China is not it. It isn't. Communist China is not the thing where you're like, I can't sleep. Somebody did say earlier, although I found out this week my pillow was made in China, so I had to throw it away because it was going to steal your thoughts. But we've got an issue with our education system. There's no doubt that's broken. Go look at our numbers. Oh, jeez. That's super broken, right? We have got an issue when it comes to overdosing. That was one of the big things. Well, that's part of the quality of life. And, of course, affordability. It's a massive issue here. All of those things, those are the things that matter. Potholes. And the joke, we joke a lot about potholes. But I'll tell you this right now. If your state can't do the pothole thing, what else can't they do? Because that should be absolutely so important, is the potholes. Just take care of the potholes because you're showing me you're a steward of the money and you're doing the right thing. And we're not. We're not doing that. Ken, what did you say was the horrible potholes that you fell into the other day?
Right now it is the off-ramp from 40 eastbound to go southbound on 65 in both lanes.
Both lanes. Ken disappeared, so landed lost. He fought the slee stack and befriended Chaka.
Yeah, I got to meet Chaka finally after all these years.
Remember that?
And I'm not much taller than he is.
You're not? About the same. He's just a little fella.
He's just a little fella.
Is he a Sasquatch?
We didn't get that far into the conversation.
Because I didn't know what he was saying. Because he's just goofy looking and he smelled.
Do you remember who Enoch was?
Yeah, Enoch. He was the king of the slee stack. For whatever reason, he could speak English.
He could speak English and he actually wore clothes.
I was going to say he wore clothes.
That makes you civilized.
Yeah. That was always my favorite thing. I was like, why does he have a vest on? He's got a full outfit on. All the other ones are naked. Well, they're just learning how to do stuff. And they all had the world's worst crossbows. Those were awesome. Like, ow, what are you doing?
That just bounced off my arm. I might have a bruise.
So, man, a lot of you. Teacher said education number one. Absolutely. We have a bad education system right now. And I know everybody's, I want to see, why aren't we getting more actual look in and transparency into all of these great vouchers we have that seem to be going to a vast majority of people that, if there was no vouchers, are still in school that they're going to. What's happening there? Why are we fixing some of these problems that need to be dealt with? Absolutely. Need to be dealt with. But alas, here we are. And do I think that any of no, because they're all, it was Jay, somebody just said, theirs all sound the same. I'm more Trump than Trump. So I'll be Trump for Trump. Trumpity Trump. Oh, what? I like Trump more than this person likes Trump. No, I like Trump more than that. No, I like Trump more than that. You know what? What about the state? That's what I want to know. Right and left, you guys are going to have a problem in 2 years when Trump's not here and you have no more Trump stuff to talk about. How do you deal with that? The left has been fighting Trump since he came down the escalator, and the right's been on his coattails since they knew that he was the king of the Republican Party. Well, what happens when he leaves? Where are you guys going to be? Just out of curiosity. So what do you think you think our potholes are bad? Michigan's worse. There you go. Do you want to live in Michigan? No. First of all, it's cold all the time. So there you guys go. Teacher, starting my 27th year of teaching, I will tell you, yes, education top priority, but also starts at home. Well, that's true. So, I mean, these are all things that are real that matter. Affordability, absolutely. Education, the potholes, joke aside, absolutely needs to be handled correctly. Because if we're not filling the potholes, where's the money going?
What do they do they have to keep track of? And I don't know how they do it, but do they have to keep track of the damage that people rack up due to the potholes? Like how much money is lost every year because people having to repair their cars and stuff like that?
I don't know how that works, honestly. I don't know. Ken, if your Elantra flips over and crashes,
yeah,
which should never happen because it is, first of all, it's indestructible.
That's right.
And would you submit it to insurance and have them go after the city for not maintaining potholes?
Well, I would submit it to insurance, but you can take your you can take your case to the state, and I can't remember the exact steps that you need to follow. But yes, you can appeal to the state. I'll look it up and figure out which state agency you can go to. If you have damage, you can appeal for the state to reimburse you.
And Afton's going to be on a week from tomorrow, so I'm sure she'll be able to expand on that.
Yeah. I mean, it's those are things that, because several of you, when we joke about the potholes, some of you have said, look, this thing cost me $1,200. It destroyed my front end. These things are huge.
Well, let's say it does the minimal amount of damage.
Say it blows your tire out.
Well, what's it cost to get a front end aligned? $100?
Probably. I don't know. When's the last time you
Who wants to spend that because the city didn't do its job?
Yeah. And I'm not saying there's not going to be potholes. That's going to happen. That's wear and tear of but that's part of the infrastructure. If we can't do the little things, how can we expect to do the big things? And then everybody's like, well, I don't want property tax. Look, I think the best way to do property tax is you cap it at a certain level, right? So whatever it is when you buy the home, maybe. But you can't hit people with surprise bills, and we can't expect property tax to take care of everything, and then we can't expect everybody to go, we should eliminate property tax. We should have no taxes on anything.
For pothole damage reimbursement in Tennessee, you file your claim with the Tennessee Department of Treasury, specifically through the Division of Claims and Risk Management. TDOT does not pay the claim directly. So you got to file your claim, but here's the steps you have to go through. You got to provide the exact location of the pothole, photos if available, repair bills or estimates, proof that the damage resulted from the road condition. So
they're going to make it virtually impossible.
So in other words, here's a picture of the pothole that damaged my car. Yeah, but prove it.
Yeah. Prove that. Yeah, prove it. You have to prove. Somebody just said you have to prove the pothole damage. Okay. Well, how do I do that?
Probably have to have the mechanic confirm it.
Yeah, that this thing fell into a pothole. But then they're going to say, well, how do we know it fell into that pothole?
And how do we know he's a real mechanic?
And And how do we know that the pothole was the one and that he wasn't driving to hit a curb?
How do we know this isn't a scam and you guys are just trying to rip us off after we've damaged your car and don't want to admit it?
There you go. See? And how do we know you were driving the car and it wasn't your kid that did something stupid? Or as Belle said earlier, it wasn't your wife who you shouldn't have let be driving the car anyways because she can't drive. She's making you a sandwich. Yeah.
Just going to let that sit there.
That's what Belle said.
I did not say
the
that.
last, Jason said this last alignment it was $200 to get it done.
Wow.
$200. Somebody said,
you can get it cheaper than that. Jason just likes to flaunt his money.
Yeah, I know he does. But here, like somebody said, I like Florida's answer on property tax. No property tax if you own your home outright. Okay, but once again, this goes to if you own your home outright, that is one of those things where a vast majority of people are boomers who own their home outright. Okay, great. So now you want to tell the Gen Zs and the soon-to-be alphas and the millennials and the Gen Xers, you guys have to pick up a vast majority of all of the taxes. That's what we want you to do. And several of you last hour chimed in and said, I don't care what happens to the young people. It's not my business. And that's why they say they don't care what happens to the boomers. They don't. This is the battle that's going on. I mean, we want to, you hear this administration, oh my God, we need you guys to buy houses and get married and have kids. How? How are they going to do that when they can't even afford rent in most decent places? And if they can't afford rent or to buy a home, it's an hour and 40-minute drive to their work. It's, it's ridiculous. We need to have a smart tax system, but most importantly, too, we need not to waste money. That's the other thing. Whether it's at the federal level or the state level, are we wasting money on things that are stupid? I bet you there's a lot of places we are. No doubt. So we'll see. We'll see how, it still feels like it's Marsha's to lose. And, somebody asked who's the Democrats out there. Outside of Ditch and Jerry Green, who I think they're people just sent us a text, I don't think there's any, I don't know anybody else who's running. Do you?
There's no one else that has
any name recognition.
Any name recognition or the financial backing to achieve name recognition.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to look them up.
Yeah. If you've got to look them up, that's that's not a win. Oh, by the way, you can get a tow truck affidavit if your car gets hurt because of that.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Which is
gather
good.
up every receipt you can.
Absolutely. That's exactly. You got to get every receipt you possibly can. You have to talk to the 85 people around you that saw it happen, that your front end fell off when you went into a giant ditch.
The car bounced out of the pothole, went over the side of the bridge, and is now in the Cumberland.
Yeah. And then you have to make sure that everybody, I saw it happen. Was it the pothole's fault, or did the car, was it on bags? And if you don't know what that is, that's when you see the cars bouncing. It is, those are little things, though, that show you, as Ken said earlier, infrastructure. The state's got a lot of problems with infrastructure. We know that. Besides us being extremely mean to people, which we're going to talk about in a little bit when it comes to the quality of life here and how bathrooms should be labeled all gender all the time, which is really creepy. I've been in, Europe's had all gender bathrooms for a very long time. Why would you want to be in there, ladies? Just let you know. It's not a lot of good stuff going on. And men. Oh, Lordy. Coming up, talk a little bit about Lindsey Graham. Obviously passed away. Iran, the latest on that. And yes, we are according to CNBC, amazing at business, but a horrible place to live. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital. Absolutely incredible. Talk to my friends over at Bulwark. When it comes to your investments, your retirement, they're doing a Market Blind Spot webinar next Thursday. It is happening at 5:30 our time. They're going to show you all the things going on in the market, what you should and shouldn't worry about, geopolitical things. Is the AI bubble ready to pop? The things that maybe you're not looking for, the blind spot that the market can often have when things go a little bit sideways, and how to prepare for it, and even take advantage of it when it does. Totally free to you. My friend Zach, who's the Chief Investment Officer, is going to lead it, and it's just a great way to learn about what they do. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. What can they do to give you the most upside potential? Sign up for today, the Market Blind Spot webinar next Thursday, the 23rd, 5:30. Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital Management.
America survived for years without taxes.
All right, drivers in Lebanon still got that road work on 109. Only one lane is open southbound intermittently between Hickory Ridge Road and East Division Street. And protests breaking out in Maine, where there's been an ICE-involved shooting. This story and more coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You guys remember, not only can you text the program, you can also leave voicemail.
America survived for years without taxes. How did we do it back then?
Simple. We had no services. Everybody kind of handled everything themselves. So there you go.
I guess that's true. There weren't any services.
There was volunteer fire departments. There was some areas where they charged you taxes, but for the most part, we didn't have services that we do nowadays. You know? Wasn't Social Security. Wasn't any of that stuff. I mean, are we okay with that? And some of you are like, I'm totally fine with that. I could live without anything, don't need it. Good. So, it's weird because we all want to make sure that there is the ambulances and the police, and we've got education opportunities as far as kids and public school and all of the things, but nobody wants to pay for it. And that's the issue in that situation. So we'll see.
I just want to pay taxes for what I want.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it is.
And that's true.
Well, I think that's most people. I've always said I'd like to see a year where they tell everybody, all right, guys, here are the things that money goes to for taxes. Everybody can decide where your taxes go.
Yeah.
And some people might only pick education. And some people might say, keep it the same. And some people will only pick, the military side. And some people will only, who knows where I know we say potholes.
Mine would be the Ken Weaver Public Safety Department.
Of Office of Management and Stuff. We're here to protect ourselves from us. So that would be.
But
I
you're
like
right,
that.
man. I mean, it's one of those deals where I think we do need tag. There are some services we really do need.
Yeah, I mean, and some services where it's like we keep cutting with education. We've got an issue when it comes to DCS here. It's not those kids' fault that their families suck.
No.
And, so we've got all of these things that we need to look at that are real services and some that are kickbacks and, a way to, hey, we got a bunch of money. We better figure out how to spend it. I like what was it? Ken Weaver what?
The Ken Weaver Department of Public Safety.
Yeah. Let's do that. What's going to happen there? What
Treasurer
happens?
Ken Weaver.
Paid for by Ken Weaver for treasurer. So what happens there? What do you guys do? The Ken Weaver Public
we get
Safety.
people out of jams.
What kind of jams?
Well, I mean.
Mostly grape.
A lot of it depends on the time of day and whether or not we actually pick up the phone. But if we can, we'll get you out of a jam. It's good to just go ahead and throw your taxpayer dollars into the department just in case.
Okay. It's, think of it as a long-term savings account for Ken and whoever at jams he helps you get out of. Because there may be an issue and he's going to come. Is it a .org? Is it a nonprofit or is it working for the city?
It depends on what's the cheapest.
I can only afford so much online to find out. Hold on a second. ChatGPT told me it should be a .org. So, Ken Weaver for governor. Well, yeah, I got news for you.
I don't know about that.
We're pretty, I don't know if you're aware of this. We don't want to be in charge of anything.
No. Hey, Governor, it's time for the legislative session. You want to give a speech? No.
I just took some goomies. You don't want me to give that speech right now.
Got an appointment with the wood chipper now.
Oh, goodness me. The younger generation's not having babies simply because they can't afford them. Yeah. That's true. Essentially it's because they think that having babies is selfish. No, it's because they can't afford them. I mean, it's tough for people who do well.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to childcare.
Everything's relative, man.
Yeah. You make $1 million a year. What do you care if it costs you $1,500 a week for your nanny? Right? You make $1,500 a week and it costs you $700 for your 2 kids to go to daycare. You care.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you care. So the biggest problem with affordability is the volume of blue moving to red states. That's what's driven the prices of homes through the roof. It's low-income homes going to illegal migrants versus the young folk. Not what you really think it is. But it's also, you can build homes. I mean, Texas is doing it. Nobody in Texas complains about the cost of living in Texas and the housing prices because they build.
I remember when I lived there, and this was at this point 25 years ago, but there was constantly construction, and it wasn't just roads or retail or office.
Yeah.
You would see apartment buildings going up like crazy, new subdivisions going in. You know, the one of the other reps that worked in my office bought his house, and he's like, if I'd known they were going to start adding an entire new subdivision right next to my home, I would have bought somewhere else. Because as soon as theirs was done and he had bought it, they had sold out those, they started another one.
Yeah, and it moves so fast there. And it's, first of all, their infrastructure on the highways, while busy, are pretty good for the most part. And, you know, here, everybody lives out and drives in. So, you know, the 24/7, everything's kind of chaotic here. They've done a good job, but they also don't have the NIMBY. We have a lot of not in my backyard, which is understandable. Nobody wants everything in their backyard.
It'll be interesting to see what this bill does that Congress passed that Trump didn't sign over protests of the Save America Act. It's supposed to reduce regulation, increase building to increase affordability. So I don't know how far out that is, but it'll be interesting to see.
It's also up to the states. You know, I mean, all of that stuff sounds great, but when you build, for the most part, it's a state issue. I mean, you're not going to D.C. to get your local housing, subdivision that you want to built.
That's true. I mean, like, what are you going to run up against in each individual state?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, so much of our politics is still very local that affects you on a daily basis. Coming up, speaking of something that affects us all on a daily basis, but has absolutely nothing to do with, us here locally, prices for gas are going up again, and I wonder why that is. We shall discuss. Chad Menso, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Protests are breaking out in Maine, where a man was killed in an ICE-involved shooting today. Happened in Biddeford, Maine, where immigration advocacy groups say a 26-year-old Colombian man was killed. Authorities telling local media that ICE agents surrounded a car and repeatedly ordered a driver to get out, then shots were fired. Advocacy groups say that man was authorized to work in the United States and had been issued a Social Security number. Preliminary findings from the medical examiner of the District of Columbia say Senator Lindsey Graham died from a, quote, aortic dissection due to arteriosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Before he became President Trump's Medicaid and Medicare administrator, Dr. Mehmet Oz was a busy cardiothoracic heart doctor. Here's Oz speaking with ABC News.
The problem with an aortic dissection is because it's so fast moving and because you have to have a major intervention to fix the problem. And that can't happen for a few hours anyway. You don't have the window.
There was a heavy police presence outside the U.S. Capitol today after officers arrested a man carrying a firearm. Police say the suspect arrived in a gray Ford Bronco, was taken into custody near the Capitol's north barricade, had a dog with him. And here in Tennessee, a summertime parasite outbreak has infected between 11 and 30 Tennesseans, according to the CDC. Cyclosporiasis, an illness often linked to contaminated fresh produce, can include explosive diarrhea with cramps, fatigue, loss of appetite, and it may last for weeks. Here's Wayne Cabot.
Cyclosporiasis is something you don't want. The diarrhea can last for weeks. Previous outbreaks have been linked to raspberries, basil, cilantro, snow peas, and salad mixes. Experts say instead of buying salad mixes, get a head of lettuce and peel off the outer layer. Washing fruits and vegetables in vinegar can help. That taste can be washed away in a salad spinner with water. And don't forget to wash the cutting board and the counter. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Yeah, investigators still working to determine the source of this outbreak. And that's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Oh, Middle Tennessee, you ready to see? Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, buzzing around some of the best deals of the season. New HVAC system. If you need one, guess what? If you purchase a high select efficiency unit, you're going to get free air duct fogging and UV light home treatment to help keep your home's air cleaner and fresher, which is why we're number one in America for that. And on top of that, if you got plumbing issues, they got you covered. $800 on whole home water and drain line replacements, $500 off Halo 5 descaler and whole home water filtration system. And nothing says, hey, I love my neighbor, like going, I got myself a new Busy Bee Hive Club membership, and I'd like to give you one for free. Ooh, that's awesome. Absolutely what they'll do for you over there. So if you need financing, qualified buyers get 0% financing, 18-month no interest if paid within the first 18 months in full. So call Busy Bee today, plumbing, heating, and cooling. They're going to get you covered across the board. 615-775-7833, 615-775-7833, or online at busyhvac.com today. Relief Factor. Going to give you the relief you need when it comes to aches and pains in your joints and your muscles. Whether you're working out every day, whether you're at work every day, you know how it can be. Inflammation, number one issue when it comes to aches and pains in your body, your joints and muscles. It's that inflammation. It's horrible. It's awful. Relief Factor combats that. From the inside out, it doesn't mask the pain. It's naturally formulated, third-party tested for purity and potency. It works. I take it every single day. It works on me, especially as I'm working out more and more. And I know it'll work for you. So this is what I want you to do. Try Relief Factor. 3-week quick start, just $17.76. Put it to the test. You will not be disappointed. It works big time. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF for Relief Factor. Marsha's all talk and cringy, says 9760. So what you're saying is you're not going to give her your vote. Who will you vote for when it comes to governor? Well, I mean, I think she's definitely in the House with the lead. Has it closed enough? I don't know. And then who are you chatting with that wants to? Because I love the extremes that everybody goes to. So let me get this right. You guys are okay with weed. So you'd be okay if, I don't know, you made explosive meth in your house?
Well, I'm the radical one here.
Look,
I'm
fine with that as long as your house is not within a certain area.
Right.
If you're out in the middle of nowhere and you've got a cabin and you want to build yourself a little meth lab and you blow yourself up only for personal consumption, that's a you problem.
That's a you problem.
Do we, we see all these people texting in about Marsha and her commercials and stuff. Do we have anybody that's actually spoken to her? Because from what I hear, she's speaking to Tennesseans every day.
So you know what? I saw a couple Tennesseans said they did speak to her. And she said, I would like waffles with butter on the side.
Double hash browns.
And no Chinese food.
Well, over there, they just call it food.
Oh, God. That is so true. No, I don't think she is. I've not seen anybody that has come out and said I had a real good conversation with her.
Yeah, because she would have... Would she have to be going door to door because she's not doing town halls or where's she
door to door?
Okay, logically, where would she be talking to people if we're going to take that at face value?
Which
I know is kind of ridiculous, but
that is a great question. Well, I mean, you would think she'd be doing town halls. Look, take away the governor's side of stuff. Federal time, she should be doing some town halls, right?
Yes.
When's the last time she did? Earlier this year, I think she did one of those Zoom calls where she holds where people are allowed to call in and chat with her, and it costs $99 a minute or whatever. I don't know. What are you wearing? No, but I think that's the last time that I think she's done something like that.
How many people would something like that have allowed to participate?
I don't know. That's
100,
maybe. And
because that's certainly not.
No, that's not getting in front of the people,
right?
And look, you could say. I mean, I could sit here and say, there's a lot I don't like about Monty Fritz and some of the ways that, he's coming after things. There's some stuff about John Rose that I'm really not thrilled by. That being said, you know what? They're affable. They're out there. They're trying their hardest. They're in front of people. They're willing to stand side by side and debate and talk to people.
And you're never going to find a perfect candidate.
No.
If you find somebody that you don't have a flaw, you don't find a flaw in somewhere, that makes me suspicious.
So Marsha came to Clarksville, was at Johnny Biggs Burger last week and has a big crowd. But here's my thing. Why was nobody else there?
Was she taking questions?
And who was allowed to be there? Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you run in something, you could plant, people in there to make sure that they're asking the right kind of questions.
Oh, yeah.
So, and you know what?
That happens regularly, even in presidential elections, where you get a candidate who tells the host to pre-screen the questions.
So,
didn't Obama and Hillary both do that during their campaigns?
Yes.
I know Biden did.
Yeah. Well, you had to with Biden.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If you didn't,
Biden was close to being. There were times when he was at the Mitch McConnell level where he was shorting. So
remember when he asked if one of their party members was in the room and she had passed away?
Yeah. Can you see her? Is she in the corner?
Do you hear her voice?
So, Chad, you don't talk to people, so why should Yeah, because we talk about 95 different things every day. We're going to go on in a second and talk about Iran. Here's the thing. And by the way, I brought somebody on, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do it a couple times a month where I bring a listener on. We can sit here and talk about stuff because I think it's good. But when I'm talking about stuff, right? Because and this is what you don't understand. So let's say you called in, right? And we go on, and in 15 minutes, I pick up the call, and we're talking about the fact that now we're running the Straits of Hormuz. By the way, I love when you guys everybody does it when you do voice to text, and it always ends up being the Strait of Moose. So to stop down and go back and talk about something we talked about 15 minutes ago, that's not moving things forward. It's not what we do here. Speaking of the Straits of Moose, we run it now apparently, so that's a win for nobody. And we're pushing them around, and we're going to be charging them, guys. Who are them? See, that's the thing. I don't know who those people are, because it sounds like if we're charging them would either be the companies who are buying the stuff and having it shipped, the country, or the shipping company itself.
We're going to keep the Strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait.
So maybe we're going to be the guardian angels of the Strait. He's mentioned 20%, which has to be absurd. And Bell brought up a good thing. 20% of what? 20% of what your cargo is? That's crazy. Because
you've got ships going through the Strait that have multiple millions of dollars worth of cargo.
Oh, barrels. I mean, think about it. So the average one of those things, what do they have? I mean, Ken, what's our tuna boat hold? How many barrels do we figure?
Barrels of oil?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He didn't have his tie on when he was checking.
Yeah. So these things can hold, on average, in between 3 and 5 million at $85 a barrel. That is massive. Think about this. So if we're going to charge 20%, that's $425 million. We're going to charge 20% of that. That's $85 million. That's coming to us. Sounds great. Yeah. What do you think oil's going to do at that point in time?
What if it's just a cargo container ship that has nothing but brand new Mercedes on it?
Yeah, but I don't know. Is that going through there?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it does.
But it would be coming into the Straits more than going out.
It'd be going out because, if Germany or wherever they're made, you've got to ship them down to India for all the Richies there and South Africa and all those places.
I guess, I don't know how many it holds, but yeah.
And who owns Mercedes now?
Don't we own Mercedes? Is it Chrysler, Daimler?
I don't know, but
is it that week?
Are we gonna charge our own companies?
Yeah. He didn't say. He just, he does what he does. And so what happens today? Oil's up. Well, let's see here. Brent crude is $84. WTI, West Texas Intermediate, party right there, I'll tell you that, is $78. That's up about 10%. Bell, you paid $3.49 yesterday with a 10 cent
discount. Yeah.
And Ken paid $3.44?
$3.44.
All right. 30-cent jump for both of them over the last week. So that's probably going to jump, I would assume, another 30 cents if we continue to hang into this situation. And remember, he said we were going to charge, and Iran is supposed to charge. So everybody's charging each other for this. That's not going to help us. It isn't. That's not going to bring prices down, which is what we want. That's what I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend. That's why I walk a lot of places. And last week it sucked because the rain. What's the rain look like this week? Do we know, Ken?
Let's check in here, boys. Let's see what we got. Good grief.
Oh, my.
This weather hasn't been updated since Friday.
Holy mother of goodness.
All right. Looks like we've got anywhere from kind of like last week. Just anywhere from 20 to 80% chance tonight, 30 to 60% chance tomorrow, 20 to 50% chance Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then Saturday and Sunday, the least chance of rain this week will be Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
But still a chance.
Still a chance.
Yeah.
So it's one of those
they're talking about medium to high chances.
Yeah. One of those weeks where we're going to get probably somewhere this week you're going to get rained on.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I played golf with Keith from Contours, took us out. He just brought my head cover back. Thank you so much, Keith. But it was pouring out there at the Nashville Country Club. It was pouring when we got to the 16th. By the time I got home, There was no rain. None. We didn't really have any. We had some thunder, but nothing big. So, yeah, I think it's going to be one of those weeks.
Just kind of like last week. It'll rain somewhere some of the time, not everywhere all of the time.
Well, as long as we don't have any more of that heat for the next couple weeks, I'm okay with that. Yeah. I know we're going to get another couple.
Oh yeah,
days, maybe not weeks. That was several days.
That was a whole week, man.
Yeah, but I know we're going to get a couple more. But if we could just go a week or two of that'd be fantastic.
Oh, that was rough business.
Whew, that was swamp-ass-tacular. That was some stuff right there, is what we're saying. So
checking radar right now to see if we have any of this pop up. Well, we do, boys. I mean, they're popping up.
Are they?
Yeah, about 80 miles east of us, Cookeville. Cookeville's got a lot of isolated showers and thunderstorms around them. McMinnville, you're getting some. Got some light rain around Smyrna, Murfreesboro, Shelbyville. Whoo! Shelbyville getting ready to get some heavy rain.
Ooh, goodness me. Maybe we spoke too soon. Might be getting a little wet out there is what we're saying. Moist, if you will. Humidity feels like wetness is what we're saying, kids. Wetness. Coming up, the myth, the legend, the man that is Matt Murphy. He joins the program next. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. It's being reported that Lindsey Graham's sister will be taking over his seat. So, see how much that's true or not, but it has been reported that Lindsey Graham's sister, Graham Nordone, will be taking over his seat. So yet another Graham. We're just passing it on to the family members now. Hello, Matt.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
How's everybody?
Good.
Everybody good on a Monday?
Ken, tell him what it is.
Best day of the week, Brother Murphy.
Well, today's the best day of my life, Ken.
Well, freedom ends for us. Now we got to do what we have to do.
Well, you don't have to do much of anything, Ken.
I don't.
Well, I don't either, but I like to eat.
Oh, I do too.
I like to eat.
But if you really don't want Matt to do something, tell him he has to.
That's true. That's true, too.
I do the same thing. You tell me I need to watch a TV show.
You got to watch this show.
I will never watch it.
Boy, if you start a sentence with, you've got to, there's something inside of me that just goes, no. And I don't even, sometimes I want to watch the show and I don't do it.
I have never seen an episode of Game of Thrones, and I never will, so don't ever tell me to watch it.
I've never watched Breaking Bad because everybody told me, you've got to watch Breaking Bad. I was like, no, I don't really have to watch anything
The Wire.
to watch.
I've never watched The Wire, and I never will, no matter how great it is.
I've got some gaps in my cultural knowledge that you wouldn't believe. Breaking Bad, nope. Sopranos, not an episode.
You know what? I tried to watch The Sopranos, and I watched an episode of Breaking Bad. Both times I said, and I moved on.
I've seen a lot of 3-minute segments of Breaking Bad on. I watched that crap. It's like, wow, I bet this show's awesome.
I've watched this show 3 minutes at a time. That's it. 3 minutes at a time, I will watch any episode of something.
There's little segments on the old on the Twitter or whatever the hell it is. And those are good.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. It's a start of another week. I mean, we're officially into silly season and campaign season in the state of Tennessee, and everybody.
See any commercials lately?
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of them going on. Now we've got the outside PAC money happening. The Tennessee Freedom Fund, which is actually Club for Growth, is involved, and anti-John Rose advertising, which is ultimately pro-Marsha advertising.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little about that today on the show.
Yeah, I pulled some interesting TikTok people of Tennessee for Marsha just hammering John Rose. He's not a farmer. He's not this.
Oh yeah, this guy Crabtree. Who eventually he threw it up there and now he pulled it down.
Yeah.
He pulled his own down, but everybody has already retweeted it. Marsha's already retweeted it, so it's had the impact. But he's pulled it down because people are awful on social media. Newsflash, hot tip, people are awful on social media. If you put crap up on social media, they're going to say something about it.
Absolutely. Even if you're you could say hello and people are going to tell you to just go away and die.
Go to hell, right? Isn't it nice out today and just they're going to trash you?
That's it. Well, I know because Ken said today it's the greatest day. It's the first day of the week. It's Monday, and people are like, Ken sucks.
We've got 5 more days to work this week.
Congratulations. Ken's going to work 6.
Some people are off today, though, Ken. How about those people?
Oh, yeah.
But
they had to work Sunday because they worked that weird.
The weekend warriors,
Yeah.
that we talk about all the time.
Well, they have their Mondays, too, and I'm sure they enjoy them.
Mm-hmm. Just as you enjoy this one.
Yes, sir.
What are you talking about?
Ken is that little meme. Ken, right now, you know what Ken's doing?
What?
He's in that, he's that little meme with the dog, with the cup of coffee, and the room's on fire. And it's like, this is fine. Everything's fine.
It's getting a little warm in here, but I'll be all right.
Everything's fine.
It's kind of cool anyways.
It's going to be good.
It's just a little positive mental attitude. PMA.
Yeah.
That's a positive mental attitude. I like that. What are you talking about today?
You know what? I'm going to start the show by monologuing regarding, sometimes it's okay to say nothing. We have lost the ability in our lives because of social media to just not say anything.
Oh, that's so true.
Sometimes you can just not say anything. If you hated Lindsey Graham in life, you don't have to crap on him in death.
No.
Because it is a reflection not on Lindsey Graham, it's a reflection on you. And that's what we're going to start the show with.
Yeah. You know what? And sometimes you could say, I didn't like what he did as a senator. I didn't know him as a human. Didn't seem like a bad guy. You can be a little bit of, you can walk the line, but every once in a great while, it's okay to scroll by something and say, you know what? I don't need to talk about that or answer it.
You don't have to say it.
Yeah, you don't.
Just because you think it. But anyway, we'll start the show there. And, who knows where it goes from there, Chad? I don't.
Nobody does. That's
Nobody
the party.
knows.
It's a Monday of mayhem on the Matt Murphy Show.